Hello and welcome back to the Pop Shock podcast.
Woo!
It's been a while. Season 2, I guess, because
Yeah.
like we last recorded in I don't know.
Retcon season 2.
And do you know something? There's been a lot that's happened since we last recorded. Like I got married.
We got married.
To Courtney, and
We all-
we had a big wedding, and you were there, and we actually met in person,
We all
which is
met,
nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have a relative idea of each other's heights.
And alcohol
weird.
consumption.
That was never in
Yeah.
doubt, Chrissy.
So teaming up with the Scots against the English. That was
Oh, yeah.
just in discussion. There was a very particular. It'll stick with me forever. But there was a guy out the back, and he was kind of saying it's like. What's he say? Like the common man. He was talking. There was an English girl there, and he was kind of talking about the Tories and stuff. But he was like, "The common man, no problem with him." I was like, "Yes, I like this guy." But even just the general vibe was like, "Yeah, you're just Irish, like, essentially. Like it's the exact same thing." And it was weird, yeah. It's very strange, to, like as I was saying on the day, to meet someone on the very first time on their wedding day.
Yeah.
Multiple people. It's
it's not
there you
often.
go. Yeah.
It's special.
No, but it was a good weekend, man. It was a good day.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what else? We my backdrop's completely changed. The office has changed. I've got a new setup and stuff. That it's not working, but that's I'm past that. I'm over it. It's fine. It's cool. Oh yeah, and
Are you in a different room?
no, I'm in the same room. It's
just all
we've
nice.
wallpapered that wall, and instead of being at that side of the room, I'm now at this side of the room because there's a bed here now, and there's a laptop set up as opposed to a PC set up, and yeah, I don't know. It was good. I was supposed to say to Chris, I was using this the other night for work stuff, and it was great. Everything was working, so I was like, "That's cool, man. I'll log on Sunday and we built a podcast like that. There'll be hardly any setup." And then I logged in and my mic didn't work, so usual.
I do miss the frames,
Yeah,
though.
cool.
That's one thing. I do miss the frames of the comic books.
Yeah,
in the
they were
background.
nice, man. They were nice.
Where
but-
are they? Are they just
Yeah.
bin? Where did
Nah,
they
they're
go?
in the cellar, man. I've cellophane them.
Oh!
Put 'em in the
Why
cellar.
are they just regular people books?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
no, there's some comics. There's some comics down here. Sunset and Punisher and stuff's down here. So
You
still
can
got-
put like I don't normally like I put some figures up there, but I don't normally like I normally just they're in my desk when I just take them out and just put out when I'm bored in between calls.
Right, does it?
Yeah, so I never display them, but you can put them up. I didn't notice Chrissy's ones before. I guess I did.
No, to be honest, it's because it's zoomed in so much. Like usually my head covers
they're
them.
out of frame now. Yeah.
You know, my head covers them.
You just
but,
have
like,
Joker's hand popping in every once in a while.
I know. Let's keep me sane though. You know, keep me.
Yeah.
Just keep.
Oh,
me
I
going.
don't know, man. They're like
No,
I
there's
put them
another
up the odd time.
There's another
Yes,
Joker.
another Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm insane, Jared.
There's also another one of these now.
What?
Oh
So-
A doggy.
Yeah, so she's here.
What's
This is
what's
Mia.
her name?
That's Mia.
Mia.
Oh my god.
She's
Oh, it's
just
like
awake.
keeping up with the
She's like a little sausage.
Hi,
keeping up
pal.
with the Kardashians, man. Fuck, new
Who's
entry
she?
every couple of
Who's that
months.
girl?
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's
Mia.
kept us busy, man. Mia.
Mia.
Say so.
Yeah,
How's
she's
is she potty trained or?
yeah, she's getting there, man. She's getting there. She's got one pad still in the bathroom, but she goes and uses it. Like when she needs to pee, she goes in and
Aw.
uses
yeah.
it. Hi, tired girl. I see you.
Oh, that's lovely.
But yeah, she started going outside. But honestly, man, see Dash sounds like see for a puppy, she's so lazy and she's so sleepy. Like she's went along lie all the time. It's great. Like
Yeah.
look at her, and then
Falls
then
asleep straight
she
away,
hates
gets the
she
chair.
hates the cold, man. Like see me take her out for a pee in the cold, she just lets see the shake. She's like, yeah, you're good. But yeah, that's my mic, mate. It's not working. Leave that alone.
How
So
old is she?
that's-
Is she?
She's 5 months.
Ooh.
October.
Oh,
born in October.
look at her.
Like she's going to be the
years ago.
mascot now of the show.
Mate,
Chastity.
she's the leader of this household, man. We just live in her world. Like even Rocky's had to adjust. It's been a big adjustment for him. Rocky's like, whoa, man,
yeah.
this is what's this in my space, but he's getting there, man. He was okay because he had like places to hide at first.
She just
Because she
chases
was
him.
so small, and then she
Oh.
got big enough that she's able to jump up in his bed now. And see, the first time she did it, he genuinely turned and looked at us like, like didn't know what to do. Like, what have you done? Like, he was raging. But they're alright, man. She's settling.
That's lovely, man.
Yes, I love to see them like different animals interacting. My sister's, she's a cat and a dog, and they're not like cuddling with each other or anything, but every once in a while when they're walking around the house, they just go up and like kind of say hello. And
Yeah.
go their own ways.
See, she
uh,
actually will cuddle with him. But the thing is,
okay.
they'll cuddle for 5 minutes and it's really cute, and then she'll try and play with him and bite him, and then he just gets fed up and walks away. And
Oh
yeah, they
Is
don't
it the
fuck
same?
together.
Is it the same make? I was it's the same make. Is
No,
it
he's a Jack Russell. She's a Dachshund. Mia.
No, right, okay.
Yes, fucking hell, we're all 2 minutes in. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Go on.
Is it the same gender? Oh.
They're like, that was your meant gender.
No, I meant make. I meant like I don't.
Breed, Chris. Breed.
Breed. Yeah, there you go.
I can see Rocky. You know, like Rocky's a very different dog.
Yeah, he's a Jack
Oh,
Russell,
man.
and she's
To
a
be honest,
sausage
yeah.
dog.
they're all tiny to be, you know,
Yeah.
wee ones. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and we did. Her brother went to Courtney's nephew. So he's about as well. Don't bite my mic. No, you'll mess up the recording. Right, I'm gonna put her back to her bed now.
Yeah.
Let's go, Mia.
Oh, that's lovely. They're still in the family. You know, if
Yeah.
if her brother goes to the nephew, that's nice.
Yeah,
They're
I
no
think
split.
the guy I went to school with had like my dog's daughter, I think. Which is kind of weird.
Did they see each
Yeah,
other?
yeah.
No.
I think they did. Yeah, they did once. Yeah. My dog was always filthy. My dog. So we used to have a coal shop. So my dog was always black. He's supposed to be white, but he was nearly always black.
Jesus.
But yeah. So that was. So The Last of Us, I think, is the last thing we recorded.
Yeah, but that was the next thing I was going to say. So the last episode, I don't know if again we're kind of changing our format and our editing software and stuff. I don't know if this will go up on YouTube or just Spotify. Are we kind of weird if this goes on Spotify? Because I've labelled it season 2, and people will be like, "Where's season 1?"
No, where did
You
season
can
one
find it
start?
on YouTube. It's still on YouTube. You can find it on the Pop Shop YouTube channel if you're desperate. But I was going to say, I am not planning on uploading, because the last episode we uploaded was called Episode 40 Part 1. We split we split it into 2 because it was like 4 hours long, and I never uploaded Part 2. So see if you're like on tenterhooks for like 6 months and you're dying to see Part 2, let me know, and I'll dig out my old hard drive and I'll upload it. But see, right now it's on a different, as I said, I've got a laptop now, that's a PC, it's a whole different like hard drive, so I can't really be arsed going in and getting it unless people really want it, which I don't think they will. But
you recorded them already, like
yeah, I mean it's all out of date content anyway. But hey,
We're all out of date. I think we should upload it.
oh, you can. I tell you what, I'll give you my PC. You can find it. Upload
I'll do it. I'll be like just uploading all the old episodes. Like,
all the stuff that I cut out because it was not publishable. Just upload it
oh
all.
shit! Don't give me that.
the raw footage.
No, don't.
No,
I'll take that back. I'll get.
But aye, since so I feel that's housekeeping out the way. How have you been? I've not spoke to you in a while. How are you?
I've been sweating.
Oh yeah.
It's coming in
Just
the
recently,
wrong.
or like,
No, just
more
you
so
know,
recently?
just-
Or?
my pores have opened. You know, I've been
Mm.
wearing more baby powder than usual.
Right. It's an interesting update.
That's it.
So yeah. Anyway.
What you got,
we're getting
Chad?
a bit better, so yeah. It's we're kind of getting out of winter, so that's
Yeah.
Jumper
you
season.
go outside in a t-shirt.
Oh.
Sometimes.
Taps off.
Huh?
Taps off.
Taps
That's
off,
in
chips out.
that's Glasgow. Taps off.
Oh, more Glasgow shit. Well, tabs off.
Taps off.
What's that mean?
It means
What's
you're
that mean?
naked. It means like you're just
Take your
out in the
top off.
sun.
You
Take
tap.
your top off.
So, I don't do that now. I'm too white. I'm just crisp up.
Oh no, in Glasgow it can be like a second of sunshine and you just see some guy with hundreds of tattoos, but like, I smoked him, his tap off. He's a taps off like that.
Yeah. Oh, Dublin's the same. There's always some
Mm.
lad running around with a stop off.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's even the thing I noticed about being in Glasgow. It's
Very similar.
to Dublin. Like,
For better or
I
worse.
was like, oh no.
Oh, you've cut out, mate.
Oh, you've got it.
There we go. We're 10 minutes in. We've had our first
Oh, there we
audio
go.
flaw.
Alright, there we go.
Back. My new magic mic. That's like, somehow.
That is
turned on.
amazing. That it's like that's futuristic shit. Like when
Yeah, it's like I don't need this.
you know.
If only I could click my fingers. Yeah, but there was like just I don't know where I was, like fairly city centre, and just like some alleyway. There was like a couple doing coke, like on a windowsill.
Romantic.
It seems kind of familiar, like yeah.
If it was on Valentine's Day, that's romantic, you know.
I mean, they cut their lines into a love heart shape. Did one side each, and then met in the middle.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Is this
but
published?
also,
Guess what we've been watching?
yeah, because
What
we've been
we've been
away
watching.
for like a long time,
Yeah.
we've been watching and playing a lot of shit. Who wants to start? Let's just fire stuff out, man. Like, what films did you watch that you either thought were really good or really shit?
One
or...
thing, it's not
There you
even
go.
like a shout out. It's like
Mm.
one of the things that I've been wanting for ages, and it's finally on Netflix. And it's the Batman animated series. I fucking watched that to shit. As soon as
Oh,
it
yeah.
came out, watched it. It's about like fucking 30 episodes. Golden.
I
I watched the
watched
Christmas episode at Christmas.
the
The first
first
one.
season. I think I watched
Is the first one
season.
the Christmas episode?
think
Yeah, I
so.
think it's familiar.
But I didn't watch it. I didn't watch. There's three seasons, Chris, isn't there?
Aye, well, no, there actually is. It's weird. I don't know why they don't publish the last season. The last season's like when the cartoons completely change, so it's like they do different art styles.
Well, slightly different. Is that when like Joker gets like black eyes?
Black
or
eyes,
something?
yeah, and like the Batman's not got a blue.
Yeah.
It's like all black and stuff. So really darker.
Well, they changed the name of it or something too.
I think
that
they
before it
might
kinda
have
transitioned
actually.
Yeah,
into
they
the
did.
I think
Justice League
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
it was like either
Yeah.
Batman
Was it the
and
Brave and
Robin
the
or
Bold?
something.
Is that the season?
No, that was
No,
was
no,
that's a
like
different series again?
thing.
that was
Yeah,
a
okay.
different one.
Okay.
But
That was
no,
supposed to be a bit of crack. I think a friend of mine was like a big Batman fan. He thought it was quite funny.
no,
Uh,
that was
no,
my shout out. That was one of mine.
I watched Mask of Phantasm like
Ooh.
I don't know a year or two ago.
That's good.
For the first time in ages. It's fantastic.
That is,
I
it's aged very
I
well.
think it's the best Batman film. Like really,
Possibly, yeah.
And the
Maybe the
score-
best DC thing ever.
They elevated the cartoon score
yeah.
to like opera levels, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's that was it. Tim Sale? No, Tim.
No,
Daly.
it was Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm. Yep.
Bruce
There
Timm.
you go, that was another Daily guy. No, the other person, writer or something. No.
The other guy,
Daly.
is it's Bruce Timm and it's Paul Dini.
Paul Dini.
Oh, okay.
Paul Dini and
Big
Bruce
guy.
Timm.
But the art style of that show is just amazing.
Yeah, it's
And they're
gorgeous,
bringing
man.
it back. They fit like the what was it? The one that we were kind of
Are
hesitant
they
on,
still?
like.
They're like
Well,
they were
Connery's
talking
dead,
about
but
the-
like
Yeah,
they-
it's not Conroy.
But they
Yeah,
were-
we can talk about Suicide Squad actually. That's
Oh no! I had so much hype for that game, and it just disappointed me. Oh no!
Have you played it, Chris?
No, but I've saw the
Question.
disaster of the fucking shit. It's ridiculous.
Was the reason that you didn't play it because Gotham Knights burnt you so bad?
Oh fuck yeah! See with the
Yeah,
four-player
I
thing.
think a lot of people are like that.
I wanted actually to watch some stuff. Like I watched still like the Rad Brad sometimes when he blows his stuff just to see what the gameplay's like, and then I just was like, do you know what? It looks the exact same. I want to watch to see if the story's interesting. It wasn't. Yeah, like,
I mean,
so-
the most unreal thing about it is that when it was the Gotham Knights thing, it was like, oh well, it's shit and it's a bit crappy with the legacy and stuff, but that's not Rocksteady. Like Rocksteady wouldn't do that.
It's fine.
And literally 6 months later, Rocksteady did it, but worse. Like I genuinely think in hindsight, Gotham Knights isn't as bad. Like
Gotham Knights is a miracle. Like
It's a
that's
masterpiece of
fantastic. Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
People were
they
shitting on
dropped
the,
to
like,
ball.
and then the Avengers game. They seem to be just getting
Oh,
worse.
Yeah, again, the Avengers game
Avengers
looks
game was
better in
actually had-
hindsight, like because
yeah,
Suicide Squad was
definitely,
such a disaster, man. Like,
But
But-
they had 2 examples of it failing and still.
And
made
still
it.
went with it.
still made
How,
it. Yeah.
how is this all like? Is it kind of the similar thing with like studio interference? What do you think? Is that the kind of thing in games?
Yeah,
It's just like people are saying,
if
"We
the
want
service are
this,"
just-
you know?
With Suicide Squad, Rocksteady wanted to make a narrative game, and then they were forced to make it kind of pay to win, essentially, like a live service.
fuck's sake.
And make it grindy, like have players playing for longer, doing the same. Do you know what all these studios have seen? They've seen Destiny. Destiny's the only game that's done it successfully, and year on year,
Yeah.
month on month makes money, and they all want that. They all want their own Destiny, and it worked
Yeah.
once. It's kind of like the MCU. It's like how the MCU worked, and then every other studio was
Yeah.
like, we need to have our own cinematic universe, and it's worked
Oh.
once, and that's it. And it's the same thing. Like it worked once, and every
Yeah.
other game studio wants it, and it's like it's lightning in a bottle for a reason. You can't duplicate something like that and
Can't
force
replicate
it.
it.
Like,
But
it's
if they
just-
get that once again, it's worth it. Like they could actually, they could probably like, because I know games that are like way more, the budgets are way higher than films, but like they could make 10 stinkers and just get one right, and then it's
And then
like
they
look at
made it.
GTA.
That's
They've
exactly
been
what I was
make-
going
How
to
much
say.
money
yeah.
have they made out of that one game over 12 years?
They've
now?
milked it for 12 years, man. They've
oh aye,
fuck.
That's just
GTA Online is just an
constant-
absolute cash cow. Like
I
unreal.
know.
But
Billions,
even when I
like,
was playing
they're
that
talking billions.
Avengers game at the start, there was lads. I'd like, you know, you've done a Facebook group or whatever first, and be lads just spending like $300 fucking whatever dollar, like the start of the game,
Mm.
$300 on recolors of suits, and you're like, there's people out there, no matter what the game is, they will pump money into it because they just
Well,
they
that's the
have that
thing.
money and they'll do it. Like, yeah,
I've been watching like YouTube people talking about Suicide Squad, right? And a lot of these people bought Gotham Knights and slagged off Gotham Knights when that came out. And then when they released the $100 version of Suicide Squad, if you paid $100, you got to play it 3 days early, right? And the amount of people that there's actual footage, evidence of them slagging off Gotham Knights that then went and spent £100 on Suicide Squad. It's like, well, what did you expect? Like,
I
do you
know.
know what I mean? Really? Like, what did you think was going to
Oh.
happen? It's
And like,
But
see,
at the same time,
they had a better story with the Gotham Knights. Like they have interesting more characters in the Suicide Squad. They've got the villains for fuck's sake, and they fucked it up. It's
you need to vote with your wallet, man. And like, why Suicide Squad? Why Rocksteady just didn't make a Superman game? Like, that was an
do you think it
absolute
will
slam
make money
dunk.
though? Do you think it's not? I've not kept on the thing of if it's
Oh
made money
no,
or
no,
not. Is
losing
it
fortune.
lost?
Oh no, I don't see it making. I don't think it will
dead on
be.
launch. I think it's
I
under
don't think it'll.
1,000 players now.
Yeah, the
Is it?
player count's
Yeah,
super
like
low,
really.
like really low.
Oh, it's was it like Arkham?
Oh.
The first Arkham game has more players.
Yeah,
On Steam
I think
or something.
Arkham Origins had more players. Yeah, like
Oh
it's
Yeah.
fuck! Well,
really
see,
bad.
boss,
Oh.
Arkham Origins is a masterpiece. If you hold that up,
Oh
is it not
God,
the same
aye.
studio though? Like
No,
it's not.
that's
Is it?
Arkham Origins is the guys that did Gotham Knights. Ubisoft.
Oh well, God, Jesus!
No, what they
That's
called
what it
Warner
is.
Bros.
Warner
Whatever
Brothers of
games,
Montreal.
IWB games. Aye, that's them. They did Arkham Origins and then they did Gotham Knights. Whereas Suicide Squad's the same guys that made Arkham Knight and
Rocksteady.
yeah,
It shows you
good stuff.
like the leadership element in Rocksteady is. It shows you
Yeah,
that's
well,
how powerful it is.
when
Like
Sefton
it's
Hill and Jamie, what's
and
his
they've
name, left
left.
at the end of last year, it was like, well, that's a red flag. Why are they
Yeah.
leaving? Don't know. Like,
Mhm.
and this is here. GTA is the same thing. Like, I know I'm buzzing for GTA 6, but it's not the
The
same
main
company that
writer.
made GTA 5. Like,
Is it no
Really?
the head
the,
writers left?
the two
Oh, so-
Housers, the Hauser brothers are gone. Like, and they were the spearheads, and they're
Are they
gone.
not gone since before 5? No.
No. I think they left like 2015, something like that. Like 5 came out in
Why?
2013. Like, it's 11 years
Why
ago.
would you?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
would you leave? Was there a reason? Was it just like they were just tired? They wanted to do a different thing?
I
Or
don't know. I can't remember. I'm sure there was statements at the time, but I don't know if
They're
they're fallout or what it was. But yeah.
disgustingly rich. Like they
I
wouldn't
know.
do, and they could just
Do
give
you know
money
what?
away every day for the rest of their lives.
This is a good point to pivot to something that I've been playing recently. Just talk about like companies that are greedy and products being shit because of it. I reviewed Skull and Bones, the
Mhm.
newest Ubisoft game.
It's all over my fucking phone. Like it's ads everywhere. Yeah.
So yeah,
It-
they're
It's a
pushing it
mobile
hard,
game,
man.
is it?
No, it's a full-fledged. It's a $70 quadruple A video game. That's what they said. You know,
that
you
what
get
they
triple
said?
A. This is I. So
Quadruple.
it was
This is
horse shit.
better.
So this game's been in development for 11 years. When Assassin's Creed 4 came out in 2013, same year GTA actually, GTA 5. When
Mhm.
that game came out, obviously it was huge. It was probably the best Assassin's Creed game, and people were talking about Assassin's Creed again for the first time in a while because Assassin's Creed 3 was shit, whatever. So that was great. And then Ubisoft were like, let's do a spin-off because people like the ship combat in Assassin's Creed 4, so let's do a whole game based around that. Great idea, right? Fantastic concept. And then they just dragged their heels, didn't do it properly, and then this is still the last generation. So then the PS5 comes out, and they're like, right, PS5, we're going to do it this time. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's been delayed. It's coming soon. And then there was like this. There's this weird, like, see if you look into it. There's this weird deal they had with the Singapore government because they were using certain parts of like the Singapore shoreline in the game that they have to release it. Like they were at the point where they were going to owe the Singapore government millions if they didn't release this game. It's so weird. So
Wow.
yeah, it's so the game. That's all like. And then Yves Guillemot, the head of Ubisoft, was doing like an investors call, and obviously the investors were like, "What the fuck is happening? Because we've put in millions, and it's been 11 years, and there's nothing to show for it." And he was like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. We'll see when it releases. It'll be the first quadruple A game. It'll be the first AAA game." Like, what does that mean, right? So they released this thing, quadruple A game, $70, right? It is half a game. It is a shell of a game. So see how 10 plus years ago in Assassin's Creed you could jump off the boat and get on the boat whenever you wanted, wherever in the world you were. You could jump onto any shoreline. You could fight with guys on the shore and jump back onto your boat, and then you could sail on the seas and board another ship and fight that ship's captain and steal the ship for yourself. You can't do any of that in this game. None of that exists in this game. And in Skull and Bones, you've got about I don't know, is it like 8 ports to select from that you can go to? Like you can see
Jeez.
ports, you just can't access them. You just sail by them, and then it'll be like a cursor will come up like, oh, you can board here, right? So you're like, right, fine, at least I can board here. So you go get off your boat. There's no cutscene getting off the boat. The screen fades to black and then comes back in, and your guys standing on the shore. Like it genuinely, it feels like a mobile game. This is a $70 game that's been in development for 10 plus years, and they couldn't animate you getting off the fucking boat. Right? And then if you turn around and look at the waves that are coming in and crashing against the shore, there's no audio. You can hear the campfire behind you, like the crackling in the wood, and the waves are just silent. Like, why is there no sound effect for the waves?
I literally thought it was a mobile game because it's been like.
And then you walk, so you walk out the dock, and all that's there on the shore, there's like a merchant that's selling gear. You can sell gear to them. It's really generic dialogue. And then you find a quest giver, and it's like some pirate, and he's like, "Arr, this guy stole my ship 5 years ago, and he's a bastard, and you need to go and kill him for me." So like, right, okay. So you go and you shoot this random ship because it's a red ship with black sails, right? You go and shoot the red ship with black sails, and then you sail back like it's super long distance, like 2,000 meters across the sea. There's nothing to do in the sea, and then you come back, and then you guys like, oh, well done, matey. Here's your money. Oh, there's this other prick that owes me money. Can you go and get him now? And you're like, right, okay. And then that's the game. That's it.
That's
Like,
you're just jumping.
It's abysmal, man. Like, and there's no. Oh, another thing, there's no on land combat. It's only ship combat. Your character, when you get off the boat, your character has guns on him. You can see like he's got pistols. Can't use them. They're just there for show. They're just can't use them.
So
It's honestly, it's a
combat
skeleton.
just like firing fucking bolt. What's the
Cannonballs.
yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. And
That's
there's no.
Oh, there's like a survival element, so you have to get like wood and resources and stuff and shit like that to like craft.
Oh, great.
But you don't. No, but you can't get off your boat. So like you think in usual games you'd get off the boat and you walk up with an axe and cut a tree down or something, right? No, you stay in your boat. You sail up to the shoreline, you point your cursor at the trees, you press a button like X or whatever, and then a wee mini game comes up, generally like a mobile game. Now, how the mobile games were like you have to launch a wee guy across the map, and the wee arrows going like that, you have to top it on green. That comes up on the screen in this $70 Ubisoft game, and if you stop it on green, then you get the most amount of wood, and then you sail away, and then you. Oh, it's garbage, man. It's so shit, like honestly, and yeah, it's horrible, and it's always online. So it's a single player game, but you have to be connected to the internet to play it. So you randomly get disconnected sometimes, and
also only online.
Yeah.
Is there player versus player?
So there is PvP, but you need to kind of look for it. I've not encountered it yet. I've spent about I don't know 6 to 8 hours with the game before I wrote my review. I've not came across it, and I've heard people on other reviews saying they spent about 20 hours with it and they've maybe encountered it once. The seas are very empty, put it that way. The seas are.
So what's the justification for online only play?
It's like Suicide Squad. It's a live service game, so like they're wanting you to put more time into it and grind more missions for more growth and experience points, and then, or if you want, you can just bypass that and pay money to.
Also, I guess,
customize your sales or customize your pirate or whatever. So yeah, it's monetization.
That upgrade and stuff you in games normally. Well, it would save it if you weren't online too, wouldn't it? I remember that in the Avengers game you could play offline.
No, this crashed on me once, and I lost maybe about half an hour of progress. Like I'd gathered wood, I'd done half a mission, and then it crashed. Then I went back in, and I was back on the shore, like getting the mission from half an hour ago, and nothing saved. So, yeah, it's not great, man. Not great. I mean, go and read my review on FandomWire for my full thoughts, but don't buy the game, man. Just don't do it. Vote with your wallet, and don't let Ubisoft keep getting away with it, because yeah, they will, and all studios will if you let them. So.
It's so bad that that's the standard now. Like 10 years in development and it's fucking shite. Oh unreal, man. My god.
Game quality seems to be even degrading in some ways. Like,
is it the lack of passion? What is going on?
Is it more kind of like what's the word? What's the word when it's within the system? Ah, shit. This is
like more
like systemic. There seems to be like there's more.
There's more writing on it. That's the bottom line. I think like the games are costing more money, but they're also making more money. Like games are a huge business. Yeah, last year games made more than movies did. Like
I think that's been the case for a long time.
Yeah, for a while. Like so there's a lot of pressure that way financially, and at the end of the day, you can develop a game, you can develop whatever you want, but you need somebody to put it out for you and publish it, and put it out to the world and pay for the market and stuff. So if you're beholden to all that, then you're going to need to do what they say. And if they want to make it live service, then like Rocksteady, you just need to bend the knee and go live service. Like Or
So
like
weird,
the two
yeah.
studio heads that just walk away and do something else. It's kind
I
of
guess
your
because
options.
games just make such a, it must be just a fraction of like what we would normally think of as a single player campaign. Like they must just make such a fucking pittance of a sale compared to a successful or even partially successful live service game.
Hmm.
You know, it's
Yeah,
just the games. People enjoy them more, but fuck
it's
you with money.
I think I don't know, man. I think most people don't like online shit,
No.
and I think
I
the
fucking
Oh
hate
no, not
online
that
shit.
they'd enjoy single player games more, but the companies are like,
yeah,
fuck you.
yeah, that's it. The
We
companies
make
don't
more
care
money
because
out of this. Yeah.
if they get like a few whales, as they call them, like to put a bunch of money in, then that's all they need. Like
Yeah,
it's like it's
Yeah.
FIFA as well. FIFA did it with Ultimate Team. Like it's the same,
yeah.
and I think even the Madden games do it now. Like sports games are doing it now. It's just it's
But like the Avengers game had a campaign and people liked the campaign.
mm,
Like I think people generally like, okay, yeah, the
Decent
mission, like,
story, I think.
once you get into like the post game, what the live start, like if you did it like that, just do a good campaign, update the campaign. Like I think even people were coming back round on that, but then it just, I think, I don't know, maybe the Spider-Man kind of put a squad, like
mm.
they had a Black Panther DLC and that was pretty well received and it was a bit different. And if they had more time, I think they could have got more. But it was like they were adding a character every 6 months or 8 months or something. It was crazy. Like,
I still need to
Oh,
play
with a
Avengers game.
story, like a character with a story kind of thing.
I think they had like a few
well,
missions each. Right?
I think they had a couple of missions, but Black Panther got like an expansion,
Ah,
and it was like
okay.
Wakanda and shit. But that was like, and again, voice acting's pretty good. Like, story was like the main story is a bit bare bones, but it was like if they're going to do live service, it would not be more in their interest to just like, let's just fucking do a good story, like spend time with it. And same
Mm.
with like Sony throwing out all this. Like, I don't even know if we need to talk about it, but Madam Web like throwing out all these gammy Spider-Man, like vaguely
Yeah.
Spider-Man related films. Like make okay, let's save that for news. But there is some Nick Cage.
Oh.
This of it all.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
speaking of
yeah, yeah,
games,
yeah, yeah. I heard about
speaking
that
of
as well.
games, Spider-Man 2,
Spider-Man 2.
which
Yeah, let's talk about a good game.
came
That'd be
Right,
nice.
give
during
us
our
the
break.
synopsis because I've not played it. Is it fantastic? Because the
There's
first
two
one was
Spider-Mans,
beautiful.
and there's two of them. There's
Oh,
two
What
Spider-Man.
what are your thoughts now, Jared? Like a while after release, are you still? Do you hold it
Uh,
in as high regard as the first one, or like where are you with it?
Story-wise, I probably don't. I
Yeah.
think
really?
some of the Venom stuff was a bit rushed. Gameplay-wise, like I honestly don't care. Like I'll be playing that game for the rest of my. Well, I was thinking about it earlier. It's like I could be playing that game for the rest of my life, but I wouldn't go back to one as quickly now because the web swinging is so improved in two.
Sure.
Because the
Yeah.
web swinging, which I didn't know until it came out, the web swinging is the PS2 Spider-Man game web swinging, which
Mhm.
is like,
Oh,
that's-
no, fuck, that's
the-
difficult,
there's-
man. That'll be
oh
difficult.
yeah, but there's a difficulty slider, and like because I only replayed two during the summer. Yeah, during the summer.
So is it like
I
when you
just-
stick
as
to
soon
the
as I found
building, you
out-
just kind of you have to be careful?
It's well, it's not exactly, but it's kind of more physics based. Like you have to.
Right.
It doesn't guide you. Like if you're coming down too low, you'll hit the ground,
Mm.
and you can turn on fall damage. So like you
That's
will-
what I was going
you
to
will
say.
spatter yourself.
Do you can because like in the first one you could jump from the Empire State Building and you're just like a flower. You're just
Oh,
like, oh,
yeah.
fantastic. You
But
know?
you
have the
turn
option.
it on or off. Yeah, it's
Ah.
whatever you prefer. But yeah, as soon as I think I only found that out day one, and I was like, class, and I put it right down, and it's just now that I've passed it, and like I just love listening to music. I love putting like little videos on Instagram, just like to music and stuff. Because even just web swinging around, like I think it just I find it very relaxing, and it's just cool now because you got the different boroughs. You can go like web swinging across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Mhm.
The speed, you can get more speed and stuff, so it just feels great to do. Yeah, story. Some of the stuff was like Venom. He kind of just shows up and oh yeah, like he within the cutscenes, like there's like one time where he grabs Mary Jane, throws him into Peter, and Peter hits the fridge and the fridge lands on him, and he's like knocked out. I was like,
No.
Yeah.
this fella can be hit by trains and stuff. Like it's just in its story, like you're Venom, just hit him a fucking slap. Like it's like use the character that's right there in front of you to do what he would do in that situation or whatever to incapacitate him. So there's stuff like that where it all seemed a bit rushed or whatever. And and I didn't really dig. I don't know the white Venom thing then, or the anti-Venom suit then.
yeah.
Oh, they always do that, yeah, in the Spider-Man games.
Like when I'm playing it, I try not to use the symbiote or the arm. And the arm, that was the one thing that kind of annoyed me. The arms is very nerdy, but what I really liked about the first one, and what I like about any Spider-Man game, is when it can be as close to the comics as possible in what you're able to do.
Mhm.
And the arms just becoming like Peter's second ability thing, I was like, I don't know about that.
Did they do
Yeah.
a Spider-Man Ultimate where you could play as actual big Venom, like big scary Venom? No?
Yeah, there's like a mission.
There's a section.
There's a mission where just you're like,
Oh, there's
yeah,
only a
fuck it, go on, you're
section. You
Venom.
can't run
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Oh,
You
well,
can
you can
you
glitch
can
out.
sneak out because
but
it's
you
in,
can't
it's
do
in
much.
Times Square, so you can get up on a particular building and get into the free world, but you can't really do much. But there's a I guess in fairness to them, probably no point. I don't want to go too much into the Insomniac spoilers, but there's going to be an X-Men game made by Insomniac, which is fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
that
And I think
happens.
I probably said that on the podcast sometime, like, oh, it'd be great if they made like an X-Men. I did not think it would happen, but I don't think we should, just for the sake of it, I don't know point going into. We just, and there's going to be a Venom game, so sorry, like, that's out there.
Oh,
already,
is there?
so-
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. All right, okay,
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, basically it was kind of
it's
shit.
a-
To be
we
honest, Insomniac's plans for the next like 10 years got leaked. So
It's all Marvel. Is that what it is? Oh fuck.
pretty much few Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, just yeah.
Well,
Did you see the?
yeah.
I don't know if we've talked about it, but I don't know if it was leaked. But did you see the Wolverine footage of the game, or did you stay away from it?
No,
I
that was
kind of, yeah, like it's been like it was up on Instagram and stuff. You've seen things going past, but it is horrendously like as a fan, I'm delighted, and I will definitely be there to spend all the money on them when they come
Yeah.
out. But for the people working on it, like
It's
they
a
also have
bullshit.
personal
It's
information
awful.
thing,
Yeah.
so it's fucking horrible, and it's just some.
It's some
gobshites
guy that's just
like,
hacked into it. It's like, oh,
and it was something. It was like over a game. Like, sure, there
Yeah.
was death threats because they didn't have the Raimi suit, and then they were saving it for Christmas Day, and it's just like,
What?
fucking monsters.
oh, people are
That's
mad.
Yeah,
it, they were
and-
holding it off, and they literally left it out on Christmas Day, and that was the reason it wasn't out.
I think my whole thing with the Insomniac scandal was like it was the people that were demanding the ransom money were holding back.
Shit, I didn't know it was this whole. I thought just
Oh,
somebody
yeah,
hacked
yeah,
into
yeah.
something.
Yeah, it was
I
a
don't even
Oh,
know the full-
Jesus Christ.
So a hacking group basically stole all the data, like Wolverine game footage, the fact that they were working on a Venom game, like Jared said, and other stuff. And they were basically like, we're going to release all this unless you give us this much money, right? And that's one thing, right? That's like fucking video game content, superhero stuff, right? Whatever. But it gets worse. They had like people's personal details, people's social security numbers, people's addresses. Like they were going to dox these people. How many kids they had, like where they went to school, like it got really, really dark, and they were like,
Oh,
"We'll
that's
release
a
all
bit
this if you
far.
don't give us money." And it was like, "No, that's right." Like, I bet you,
Sorry,
I bet you a cartoon
Dan.
video game's one thing, but
Dan, did they not do that? They did dox people.
yeah, no, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't pay the money. Insomniac didn't pay
no,
the
the
money.
way you were saying it there.
No, but that was a threat. Yeah, that was a threat, and then then
Well,
didn't
yeah,
pay
but
it, so.
exactly what they did then too.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
did it start over?
Was it start
Was it
over?
something to do with it? Was it something start was it like why? What was the ransom? They're just like, do
We
this.
want money.
Like
Give
a-
us some
They're,
money.
they're a hacking group that just they've done it before to other companies. I think they just hacked in and
Oh,
got a
okay.
bunch of data and were like, we're going
So
to
it
release this.
wasn't like you didn't give me.
I don't think it was
Spider-Man, I
disgruntled.
want
No, I don't think it
thing
was a
here.
disgruntled
It wasn't
employee.
like-
I don't know,
okay,
but yeah,
Well,
yeah, it's
no,
pretty dark.
from
So.
the boy, a fan I meant. Like I thought it was something to do, maybe originated out of something to do with the game.
Don't think so. I don't know.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse, to be honest. But yeah.
No, it doesn't either. Yeah, and I guess
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad now for actually just mentioning the spoilers. But anyway, back to the main game.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The
Make it-
story. Look, they did some things great too. Like, and it was like the acting I still think was fantastic. The fighting was improved quite well, but honestly I think my favorite fight, even though I don't like the character or her design, in fairness to her, but Yori, like she was a cop in the first one,
Yeah.
but I thought her fight was amazing. Like that, I was really digging that. And to be fair, I did enjoy the fights. I think they've improved the combat.
I don't remember fighting Yuri. Is
enough.
that during the Clicks
fight was-
Cassidy missions?
Yeah,
Right.
you fight her. Did you do that with the train? Like, oh yeah, like Spider-Man does get like there's a train on him, like, and like
So
yet somehow his I don't know.
His weakness is refrigerators.
Or Mary Jane. I
The-
guess, yeah. So
So where I'm at, my man, I liked it. Right, it was a solid sequel. I'd say it's a solid 8 out of 10. But
Mhm.
in hindsight, the best
Mhm.
part of the game's the intro. Like, Courtney's
Really?
nephew was up the other week, and he hadn't played it, and he was like, "Oh, you got Spider-Man 2," and he put it on, and I'm watching him playing the Sandman intro, and I was like, "This is the best part of the game. Like, it never gets this exciting again. I don't think it never gets this large
Mhm.
scale or this impressive at any other point in the story, and that's a shame. Like,
Yeah,
it is great. There's
it's
great
kind of
moments.
weird because it's
Playing
not
as
like
Venom's incredible, even though it doesn't last long enough. But that section, that was the highlight. But besides the intro of the game and then that brief section that he plays Venom, those two parts were unreal.
yeah.
I liked the
I
stuff
thought
with
some of the
Craven. Sorry.
sorry, go on, yeah, Graven, yeah.
I liked the stuff with Craven. It was fine. The boss fight was fine. Whatever. And I liked the fact you could play as Miles and Peter. That was kind of cool. Fine. I like that.
Yeah.
Two fun characters to play as. Some of the missions, some of the arbitrary side missions that they had you doing were like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, you didn't like the Howard mission, didn't you?
Uh, Howard was fine. Like,
Pigeons one.
I thought there was going to be more
That
to it. It was more that what was the one where you had to set up a prom date for like a high school couple, and he was like, "Oh, I'm trying to impress this,"
in
and
the
you
it
had
was
to
a
like web
Miles mission.
posters and shit. Like, what?
Yeah, that was a bit.
Why? Or the one where you played as a deaf girl and you had to do the graffiti. Like, what a waste of time. Like,
I didn't mind that one. I thought it was a little
total
bit inventive.
waste of content. Like, just stuff that was just tacked on,
Not
and
needed.
it felt like it was just filling time, like fleshing out, the length of the game, and it was like, can we get
Did
back
they
to
remove those elements of the first one where you had to like get like a lot of car chases and stuff? You needed to get them out of the districts and stuff. Did they remove them, or are they still
You
there?
still have your crime, but the car chases they just dumbed them down, so you don't actually
So,
have to do. You just have to kind of catch up to them and press maybe one button as opposed to doing loads of tapping and stuff. So it's less. It's kind of like if you simple
less
it down
grindy.
this much, why is it still here? Kind of
Yeah.
thing. But
speaking of
it's
speaking of
yeah,
things
they
that
just
they
changed it.
tried to improve from the first game and maybe didn't do a great job of, why is Mary Jane like able to take down trained assassins now? like she's Black
Oh,
Cat.
really?
Like, yeah. So Mary Jane in the first game couldn't do shit. She just sneaked about and it was really boring, but they made you play her for some reason. And then they were like,
Uh-huh.
we're not taking the missions out because obviously that's doing what people are wanting us to do. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to give her a taser and make her like basically Rambo. like see,
Yeah, it's a
like
little
see
bit.
Craven's trained soldiers. She's just taking them out as if they're nothing. Like I remember like 6 guys and she's just hiding behind a box with a wee taser, like take them down one by one, like Batman. It's like what's going on here?
Yeah, it's a bit Last of Us in gameplay, kind of like you're that kind of. You have weapons, but you don't feel. Yeah, Look, they're doing it. I don't know why. The first ones weren't well received, so they just doubled down on them. Some people and I didn't mind them, but some people were saying that like in general the gameplay, even though it's a bit outlandish, is better. Like it's not.
Oh, it
As
will
the Last
be.
of Us
I
gonna
think
make
it
it more
might. It will
boring,
be. It'll be more because the
but
first one you were always just hiding, really. So like, at least now you've
yeah.
got a little bit of action there.
Yeah, I look. They're doing. It's not something that I have the strongest opinions on. I don't see really why it's in the game, but
Hey,
like
it's
it was
made
different.
money.
I don't know.
Like, is it not made so much money? Really, like the
Oh, the
Spider-Man 2?
game, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
Spider-Man
think
did
in
well, yeah.
general it was
It's fine.
pretty well received. I
Oh
thought the
no, that's
Venom
great.
stuff,
That's great.
the Peter with the black suit. I was surprised. There was a What If. They kind of tried to like rebrand the Marvel Comics What If there a while ago, where it was like 5 issue stories,
Hmm.
and they did one called Peter. It was like Spider-Man Shadow, and it's just like a retelling of him getting the symbiote, but he doesn't let Reed take it off him, and then he kind of kills a couple of people and brutally
Oh, well, that's a dark
does stuff.
story.
So, and even there's a particular design in that comic, but like I was surprised how much they took from that comic into the game. So like there is some genuinely kind of chilling stuff with Peter and the suit where he's like, okay, I didn't want to be anywhere near this guy.
I kind of agree,
And
but I still feel like they could have went further. I think I felt that they should have had Peter kill someone when he was wearing the suit, and then
you
that be the
can't
realization that
You
you can't
can't
do
shit,
do
I've gone
that
too
though.
far.
That would be too
Why?
far.
Spider-Man.
Why?
Spider-Man can come back from that. He's Spider-Man, even though he technically has killed people before. There was like was it a woman? I think he was in a fight and someone touched his arm and he just turned around and punched the woman and I think killed her. So he actually has done it in the comics. Sorry, but as a character in an adaptation, you don't have all the years to kind of wash that away. So
Nah,
he
I think you
can't
should
do
get
that
some.
in a game. No, can't do it. He could like. I'm so annoyed they just got rid of the Shocker wasn't in it, and they didn't just exact same lines as from the cartoon, but just play it dead serious. The Shocker.
Shocker.
Yeah, no, Yuri Lowenthal is amazing. Like, he's fantastic. Yeah, gameplay looks, the suit changes, so you can kind of change the, like, so my main one was the classic suit, but with black instead of the blue. I just think it looks cool. And
How
then, like,
dare you? How
the
dare
film
you?
suits. Well, that's kind of like his first couple of appearances. He
Yeah.
kind of looked more black at the start.
I was pissed that they got rid of the cell shaded suit. I loved the cell shaded suit for the first game. They
Yeah,
didn't
and
have it
I
in this one.
thought, but there is a new game plus, so there'll be a lot more suits coming. It's March 7th. They're
Right.
announcing new stuff. But yeah, Craven. I kind of would like maybe more fights with Craven. I thought he was intimidating and stuff, but you only kind of find him once as Spider-Man. I think, if not mistaken.
Really? Is he not the big
yeah.
baddie though? He's the big thing that's coming to New York to get him. Is it not?
Well, I guess how are you with spoilers?
I'm fine, but I'm going to play it. But I don't know if you want to do it. I don't care. I'm going to play it.
You
regardless.
do fight him, but put it this way: Peter's not the one who has the last fight with him.
Oh, it's
Actually, look, it's like the game's out.
you're fine.
You
You can do it.
you eat his head off as Venom.
Awesome, man! Fucking hell!
I feel bad, but like, I know
That
you
is
don't care for
amazing!
spoilers like I do. Yeah,
Do you see it, or is it like off screen?
yeah, it's right.
Oh,
there.
fuck.
Well,
I don't-
The mouth goes around. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the Venom twist for Chris, but what did you think of the Venom twist, Jared? Did you like it? Or
What's the
who
Venom twist?
who Venom is?
I think that was known from maybe the last game.
Was it? Okay.
Well, like, it was implied.
Oh, it's not Harry, is it? Jesus.
Well, I
Yeah, it's Harry.
you
But
don't
okay.
care about I care about spoilers. I know you don't, so I don't feel bad. But like, yeah, he just guessed it, like, from.
No, because he was in the
Um,
tank at the end, and I was thinking,
Yeah.
oh, maybe because he was
Yeah.
ill, wasn't he?
Yeah, it kind of makes it strange then that Tony Todd, like, it's just a different person voicing. You know, say like in the cartoon, it was the man from Simpsons, Hank Azaria. I would have just kind of preferred, like, look, if Tony Todd's going to voice Venom, just have him be Eddie Brock too, or whatever. Yeah, look, it kind of worked within the story. I think.
Is Harry okay? No, I guess not. By the silence.
Kinda.
I don't even remember.
Unconfirmed. I don't. He's sick. Yeah, I don't know. He's back in some other tank, and I think.
Yeah, I think he's back when he
Yeah.
started.
He's just,
basically, yeah.
he just get flung back in a tank.
Norman,
I don't know what to do.
I'd say Tree is going to be Green Goblin. Put it that way.
What kind of Green
yeah,
Goblin? Is it going to be like the one that's like all infected and awful, or is it going to be like William Dafoe where he's got?
Probably like a mixture, I'd say, if I had to guess. But yeah, gameplay great. The Howard mission
Would you
had
cry?
me in tears.
Yeah.
But
Page cry.
honestly, it was the fireworks mission before that probably set me up for it. Because there's a mission you do, and there's like fireworks going off in Brooklyn, and then when you finally go there, the fireworks explode, and it's like two brothers. Their brother had died, and they were just doing this because it was in New York for his birthday. And now it was about maybe a month after my own brother's birthday, but just there was a couple of parallels within the mission. Of like at a certain point, Spider-Man, because the guy's talking about his brother who died a couple of years ago, and Spider-Man goes, "Oh, sorry about your brother." I was like, "Oh," but when you get to the end of the mission, there's guys with fireworks or whatever, and then I think Spider-Man calls the guy, and they're kind of talking about it. So just them kind of things were in my head, but in the game, all around, it's just like an asset or whatever. There's these dock containers, and they've MF on them, which is like my brother's initials. But just as the mission is finishing, I kind of climb up on a wall, and one of those is like right there. I was like, okay, that was fucking weird.
That's weird.
I knew it was just parallels, but like I'm dying to replay it because I played it as Miles, but like I think it would mean more free coming from Peter. Just like, oh, sorry. But like that didn't. It was just, I was like, it's kind of weird parallels, and also me having been to New York recently, like in the last 2 years, like kind of going. Not that I was necessarily going there for my brother or anything, but kind of with the Hugh Jackman thing. But then the Howard mission, it's the music, so it's Alessi Brothers Seabird. It's fucking beautiful. I've never heard it before in my life. It's just whatever, kind of cool, relaxed rock song, a kind of sad song. And then the first time I did it, like the mission is kind of sad, but the mission itself, doesn't really get me too much. But then it's just web slinging over like New York at nighttime and all the lights, and it was only it was a month since I was there. I was like, oh, just like so many emotions playing it. But yeah, other than that, like gameplay is great crack. Like I still can just pick it up and go do a little crime or whatever. And yeah, solid.
That's good though.
Nothing beats a little crime.
Death.
Do little crime. Chris, what else? What did you?
To be honest, I have no idea.
That's that then. Thank you.
That's it. The Suicide Squad is the closest I've touched the game.
You haven't played it?
No, I've watched it. I think I would have caught COVID if I played it, man. It's like just.
Watch videos, yeah.
I know. I've like, see, be honest, I don't know why. I've like, might be age or something, but I've really went off games. But I love them. But like, I just don't
that
go on
happens,
them anymore.
man. I get that too. You get sick
Well,
of them for a while, and
it's
then you
hard.
come back to them. I do that sometimes.
You have to get a new game or like
Something
what
to
I
grab
think
you.
helps me is have multiple that you would play. But like, I still like last night I was playing. What was it? X-Men Legends. I was just like, and actually the score. So there's a certain bit when you're in the X-Mansion. There's like a particular kind of mood score, and I kind of forgot. I left it on, and I came down to the sitting room. I was like, oh, my house sounds like the X-Mansion. But like, I played maybe an hour of it last night. For the last 2 weeks, I'm like, oh yeah, go and play some X-Men Legends tonight. And I think I only played 40 minutes of it over like 2 weeks. I'd turn on the PS2 and just never touch it again, and then turn it off when I was going to bed. Like I just couldn't. It's hard to just sit in. Same with shows and films. Like I've watched fuck all probably in the last, in comparison to like
the last year. Fuck off.
Well, so many like you come down. You're like, okay, a TV show you have to commit, and then you're not going to get the closure that you get from a film. So you don't really feel like watching 2 episodes or something. Me sometimes, unless you get sucked into it. And then a film is always like, oh well, look, it's 2.5 hours long, so let's just watch YouTube videos about fucking whatever. Yeah. What did I say though? I guess I using COVID. I got COVID at Christmas, and I did catch up on some stuff. Barbie and I'd seen Oppenheimer in a cinema when I was in New York, so it was handy to actually pick that up again. But I saw Barbie at Christmas, so I could. I saw or Barbie, the creator, which then I listened to the Weekly Planet review of and realized I didn't remember any of the plot. I just because I was with the COVID, I just kept skipping back every couple of seconds, and I was like, then it finished, and I was like, even now I have no memory of the film. Like they've robot heads, and that's it.
I like the creator. I like that movie a lot.
I need to rewatch it. Yeah,
is that the Gareth Edwards one?
Yes. Yes.
And Alex Garland? No.
No. Alex Garland's doing Civil War.
Later. Oh, okay, yeah.
I think Creator might have been my favourite movie last year, or at least one of them. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
I saw The Holdovers. Very recently, like last.
What's that about?
Wait.
What's that about?
It's kind of right. It's kind of like I don't know. It feels like just a little narrative, kind of sweet enough narrative novel you'd read. It's Paul Giamatti is a dickhead teacher in a boarding school, and he does something. He fails a student, but I think the other teacher also lies to get out of doing it. But a teacher has to stay there for a Christmas period, and then X amount of kids are supposed to stay there, but then like 3 or 4 of them get to go home, and it's just one guy, and then it's that teacher, the one guy, the one kid, and I think she's like the lunch lady, but she's also just kind of works in the hospital. Her son died a couple of years previously, so they kind of just make a weird little family together. And the kid actor in it is brilliant. I think my friend said it's his first film, but and there's actually a lot of really good kid actors in it. And Paul Giamatti just doing his stuff, being good. He's always good.
Because is he not up for an Oscar? Is that what?
Yeah, for this.
That film's done well.
So what's his name? He did Election with Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick, who I always just assumed he was kind of like, oh, he's the same as like Wes Anderson, or not necessarily in style. Alexander Payne is his name. But apparently he did like soft porn back. Like I posted something like in the Weekly Planet group. I was like, oh,
the director.
he's a fairly well known, fairly well respected director, and someone was like, no, he's not. And I was like, oh shit, what? But yeah, he did some like fairly questionable things early on in his career, like softcore porn. It was something like the people who were working on it, like it was just not as like indie Darlene as you might think, apparently from the story. But yeah, other than that, the film was pretty good. Barbie, what did you think of it? Did you see it?
I liked it a lot.
I never saw Barbie, but I was going to say Hyperdinger.
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 Oh no, I've made the
That's what they won the Oscar. Hyperdinger.
Why did I make this damn Hyperdinger?
I actually, well, just Barbie. I kind of think I was expecting a little bit more, but I did really enjoy it.
So
yeah, I never heard really bad reviews from it. Everybody said it was great.
No bad reviews. I think I
saw Barbie twice in the cinema, and the first time I loved it. I went to see Oppenheimer. I did the double bill. I did the Barbie and Oppenheimer the same day. And
twice. You double up and double
that was a full day.
No,
yeah.
no. I've only seen Oppenheimer once. I've only seen Oppenheimer once. So we went to see Barbie. We went to see Barbie and Oppenheimer the same day, and I loved Barbie the first time I seen it. I thought it was hilarious. Thought Ryan Gosling was incredible in it, and yeah, really enjoyed it. And then went to see it again, and didn't enjoy it as much the second time. I don't know if it's because I'd seen the jokes coming and I knew what was going to happen, and the novelty had kind of worn off a little bit. It's still funny, but I feel like most comedies you should appreciate it more the second time you watch it, like catch wee jokes you missed and stuff. Whereas this one, I was kind of like, it felt a bit more rehearsed and tired to the second time as it did the first.
Yeah.
It didn't feel as fresh. I don't know. It's still good. I still liked it.
Would you rewatch comedies or like dramas that much? Well, I guess it's more comedy than anything. Well, it's
I'd say comedies are more the one that I would rewatch. Probably the genre I would rewatch
like,
most.
After watching, like soon after watching it the first time.
Like if I go see something in the cinema and then I don't know if it's something I enjoyed and then maybe 2 months later it comes to streaming and I'm looking for something to watch and I know I enjoyed it, then I'll watch it again. Yeah.
I wouldn't go to the cinema twice.
See, I'm like I even saying it out loud now I feel embarrassed, but like if it's previous to this, if it was a Marvel film I liked, I'd see it 3 times in the cinema. If it was a film, I think the first Avengers, I've maybe seen it 6 times or something. I really liked it.
I've not done that.
I haven't crossed that line with like dramas or comedy. I don't think I've went to see like Anchorman. Well, the first. When we went to college, we'd no like TV or anything, so we just had like Anchorman on DVD. We fucking watched it like 2 or 3 times a day. I loved it. We loved it. It was great. But comedies.
I didn't intend on. We were out with me and Courtney, one of our pals, and we were just looking for something to do. And she hadn't seen Barbie, and we had, and we were like, "Actually, let's go see it." And we went to see it. Like that was. That was as much thought as went into it, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why, because like Marvel films aren't even that high quality. That I don't know why. I think they're better suited to a rewatch in the cinema within a week or whatever. I thought I had no issues with it at all. My niece is obsessed with the Ken song. She just keeps. What's the?
I'm just kidding. Anyone else would be a 10.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Yeah, she loves it. Yeah, and actually, to be honest, I do love that song now too. It's quite catchy.
Everybody in it's great as well. Like all the other Barbies and the other Kens, the cast is incredible. Like they're all really funny, and they're all really like. It feels. What I liked about it was it felt, even though it was a plastic fantasy world, it felt lived in. Like it felt like it was a real kind of. It existed for a while, and these people existed in this world. Like you bought it, even though it was ridiculous. Like they sold it quite well. I don't know if it was the writing or the cast or what it was, but. It didn't feel. You go over the fact that it was a Barbie world that exists alongside the human world. You go over that really quick. Like you were just like, okay, and you went with it, and it was fine. Like there wasn't any. Yeah, I think that was down to Gerwig's direction, to be honest. A lot of that. You just bought it. Like you just bought it.
She's a queen. Like she's she's amazing.
What was our movies from this? Is it
before?
Yeah.
Lady Bird's a big one.
She was like. She kind of came up in what they call the mumblecore movement, where it's like films that were so low budget that the lighting would drown out the sounds of the actors. So she did a lot of like indie stuff, like a lot, and then She worked with like the what are they called?
She was an actress too. She was in things.
But that's the thing. That's what I mean. She started as
Right.
an actress, like she was
Right.
in the Mumblecore stuff, and then eventually, anyway, the two brothers. What the fuck are they called? Oh,
Wow, she's got quite an impressive film history. She's done like Jackie,
Duplass brothers.
Lady Bird, and
Flash
what
These
others?
guys.
Oh,
This guy,
Oh.
like, they're very strange for the directors. This guy was doing a lot of kind of like sitcom acting and stuff, and this guy used to always do the directing. They do really kind of like Creep, you know, on Netflix.
Yep.
This guy.
Yep.
But yeah, then this guy started acting a bit later. But sorry, Greta Gerwig worked with them on a couple of stuff. I'm pretty sure. And then Noah Baumbach is another kind of.
They got married.
I think
right?
of him. Yeah,
They two
but
got
she
married.
worked
That's
with
what Marriage
his-
Story is,
yeah.
right? Marriage Stories, they are divorce based on loosely.
They're not divorced.
Are-
They're
no.
married.
They're not divorced now.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I thought they were married and then they
No.
got divorced and then Noah Baumbach wrote Marriage Story based on Adam Driver's Noah Baumbach and Scarlett Johansson's Greta Gerwig. I'm pretty sure. Like
I'm pretty sure
they
they're
still work together. They're still like friends, but I don't know. I feel I'm doubting myself now.
I'm pretty sure they're married, man. Because
I think Marriage Story is based on.
Let's see. Let's
Let me
let's
see.
let's look this up. The Marriage
Fact
Story
check.
based
I don't
on-
think so. Like I'm pretty confident I've even seen stuff of them together recently.
Oh no, as I said, I mean they wrote Barbie together. Like they still work together. They're still friends. And I think they
No,
have
but
kids
like
together.
as in together, married.
Right. Hold
Oh,
on.
Jennifer Jason Lee, the marriage to her.
What's his name?
So he divorced in
They
2010.
only got married. They only got married in what? They only got
Right,
married in like December.
So who
So it was his
is-
first marriage. It was based on his first
What?
I
marriage.
was
Yeah.
going to say that. Is
Yeah.
that based on another marriage that he had then?
So it was
Is
with
that where I'm
the
getting
women.
mixed up?
See the Hateful Eight. See the women that was
Yeah,
the
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
yeah Jennifer Jason Leigh. That was who they were married to. So it was based on that. I
Okay,
think.
but he goes back a good
Right.
while. He did like the Squid and the Whale. He's a very good filmmaker too, and I think he wrote on Barbie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, co-wrote that with her. Yeah, they
Hold on a
listed
second.
together. So Marriage Story is based on him and Jennifer Jason Leigh. Okay, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It's a
Wow,
fucking
I
dark
I
marriage,
presumed
man.
it was him. And, I presumed it was him and his.
Yeah,
him
I
and,
don't think Greta Gerwig is that much older than. No way. Hold on a second. I would have thought she's only a couple of years old. Yeah, she's only 1983, so she's only a couple of years older than me.
Nuts.
But yeah, they did a lot of really good stuff together. Just Frances Ha, she was the lead in that. Lots of kind of like sad dramedy stuff. But yeah, they're all great. Barbie, or I see. Did you watch it? Man,
What?
it's great. It or.
or.
Do you
Oh
remember,
no,
like,
I've
there
not
was,
watched it. No.
From like last year or whatever. It's great.
I saw a wee bit. I saw like a wee clip of it. I think my dad was watching it. I caught a wee bit of it, but no, I've not
Yeah.
sat down and watched the whole
It
thing. It's like 3
makes
hours
me
long,
think-
right? It's like super long.
It's like 3.5, I think. Even it's yeah, but it's mad. It's
To be fair, I watched Killers of the Flower Moon recently, so
oh yeah, I watched that.
That
at
was
Christmas too.
How is that? Was that good? Like is Martin Scorsese losing it as a director,
No,
or what's
no.
going on?
no,
Not at all.
no.
I it's a world away from The Irishman. It's
Oh,
fantastic.
thank-
It's
thank
horrible in story, but it's fantastic.
It was one of those movies that I really enjoyed it at the time, and I'm really glad I watched it. But that's one that I don't think I'll ever watch again. Like it's so long and it's so bleak that I'm like, I don't know. It was a great
Very
movie.
bleak,
I don't know if I
yeah.
ever want to watch it again. Like, do you
Oh,
know what I mean?
really?
It's
It's a really dark movie. Like it's
it's not
Well,
like
the
graphic.
story-
It's just the subject matter, and it's the fact it's true. Like the fact it's a true story. It's just
Mm.
it's
So-
long and it kind of dwells on a lot of grief and horrible depression and guilt and jealousy and just a horrible manipulative shit. Like that. You,
Chris, just as kind of premise, it's basically Native Americans who had land that they were like the richest people. I think it's something like that. There was so much oil on the land that people from that tribe, like they were every single one of them was like one of the richest people alive at the time.
yeah.
And then all these like shady crooks
White
started coming
Southerners.
in, like to work there. Started coming in, marrying into the women. People were mysteriously dying, and like it's just that. It's just like
Trying to basically breed them out of existence.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus
won't take
Christ!
the land.
but kind of not even at the same time because they're fucking marrying into them so they get the rights to the
Yeah.
land and stuff, and they're like,
Right.
so it just follows that.
That's quite dark. actually.
So it's not, yeah, it's like it's the kind of thing where you're like, why, like, you know, why do we watch this? Like, but you know, it's
Why
good
did
to
you
know,
create
but
this?
it is
That's an
it is-
important
it's
story,
very
yeah,
dark. Yeah.
it's-
Oh, definitely, yeah. But it's just it's so long and it is brutal when you think like there's not really enjoyment when you're watching it. It's
Mhm.
just like
You can appreciate
it's shot
performances,
well.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's. I mean, I'm guessing Marty's going to just go down the road of 3-hour movies now from now on. Like the Irishman was 3 hours. This is more.
Much to the detriment. I think Irishman
Yeah.
didn't fucking nothing for me.
No, I know.
It was alright.
It was alright, but
I
it
was
wasn't.
disappointing. You know.
I have
Yeah.
not watched it since. Like I
I
usually
think
watch
that's everybody
Martin's
had good
films
feelings in
quite
their
a
head.
lot.
That was the problem. Like, everybody
Exactly,
had,
that is the
and
problem.
partied and
That's the
casino
problem.
and yeah.
It was what you saw De Niro like kicking a guy on the street.
The
You're like,
kick,
that's
yeah,
like a
that's you can't
that's
go
a
back to that.
70-year-old. exactly.
Yeah.
like,
Not at all, yeah, that just breaks the whole fucking film.
Yeah, it does that.
Oppenheimer.
Brilliant. Loved it.
Again, so with Scorsese, I was not expecting. Well, I didn't really get much of a from The Irishman. I was not sure if I'd want to see his next thing, and then Christopher Nolan, I thought had gone completely up his ass, but that film is good, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, like I was expecting not to like it, but
I had no idea what the fuck was going on, but I felt like I knew what I was going on. that was that.
What's
Oh,
that?
all the bombs and stuff. Oh, you've
Oppenheimer.
seen shit. Fantastic. Yeah.
I was good.
Good
Like,
job for Cillian though. Like he deserves what he got, man.
yeah.
He's been waiting for a wee while.
He's put the work in,
Uh,
yeah.
Robert Downey put in a lovely speech about him at some awards thing. I see it on Instagram. It was like he's been an actor's actor for 20 years.
Yeah, that was Jesus. Yeah.
They seem to be good pals. I know. Yeah, look, he's fucking amazing. Yeah, he always has been.
What I love about Cillian Murphy as well is he seems really quite humble because he's got a radio show on BBC Radio 4, I think it is, in the evening. And he was like coming home at night after shooting this multi-million-dollar movie with Robert De Niro and Chris Nolan, and he'd just been like doing his lovely wee quiet radio show from like his shed at night. It's like
I might actually
just
try
to
an
go from
episode
that
of
to
now,
that
'cause
is
I heard
just
about it.
yeah, it's unreal.
He got me onto. I saw an interview with him years ago, and he said it's the film that got him into acting. Him and his brother used to just watch horror films. Like in Ireland, we had Extravision. Well, they might have had a local one, but Extravision was our like blockbuster kind of thing.
Right.
But he said, yeah, you used to go in and rent horror films all the time. And there was this one called Scarecrow, and it was Al Pacino and Gene Hackman, and it's not a horror at all. It's like I don't know, is it like it's just like a novel kind of that same kind of novelty story, but it's just like two hobos. So that's the Scarecrow part. It's two hobos, and they meet while they're hitching, and then they just go on this mad adventure across America. Like they try and start a business, and they're hanging out with women and just getting drunk and into bar fights and stuff. And it's like, but Cillian Murphy's like, that's what got me into acting. I was like, okay, cool. But that searched out, it's like a film from the '60s, Scarecrow, random. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, and look, there's talks of 28 years later.
Yeah, they're doing that.
Yeah.
Alex Garland's writing it and Danny Boyle's directing, and yeah.
And his son is acting. His son got a part in the Taika Waititi film.
All right.
So, yeah.
So I just want to go back to Oppenheimer. The moment in that where you had him talking to the crowd and that room went white and you saw the kind of crowd looking.
At the very end.
And, it was about 2/3 in. I think it wasn't the very end because they still had the investigation on it to happen.
It was
right?
in the barn, wasn't it? He was in the barn.
Oh yeah. It felt like it ended at like the whatever 3. Was that 3.5 again?
Aye. I don't know if it was 3.5, but it might have been 3.
This was about 2 hours in. This wasn't quite at the end, and he was giving the speech.
No,
it was just after the and he was talking about how like patriotism in America and whatever, and it was just so well shot, so well acted. The sound design was incredible. Like everything about that was just unreal, and I also really appreciated how when they were doing the indictment stuff, like the investigation and stuff with the what's his name, this Australian, can't remember his name, him for Planet of the Apes and stuff. When he was like interviewing him, and Mark something, is it? I don't know.
Mark Strong.
No. God, what's his name? It might not even be Mark. But that whole scene took place. They purposely didn't display him at a court. They took him into like basically a cupboard to interview him. And the fact that Nolan kept that true to real life and didn't like Hollywoodize it and glamorize it and make it some big courtroom drama, I thought that was really effective. I thought it was
Yeah,
a nice
I hate
kinda...
that shit when they just change stuff
Yeah.
for.
It
For
felt
dramatic effect.
it felt like a retelling of what actually happened, as opposed to a Hollywood retelling of what actually happened.
Yeah, like just show it, like, and even like when they fucking have to get the like this most super hottest attractive. I hate when you see comparisons and it's like
Mm.
super A-list good looking person and then it's just a normal person. Like just make
Yeah,
them
that
look
well,
like normal
that
people.
new show Griselda with Sofia Vergara. Have you seen the real Griselda? She does not look like Sofia
No,
Vergara.
Oh yeah,
She
is it
does not.
not?
No,
Oh,
she does not look like
yeah. I
Sofia
think it's
Vergara. No.
like say Zodiac. Now maybe some of the actors, but in like Zodiac, didn't they kind of try to make them look like the people a bit more, or no?
Yeah.
yeah,
I
they
think,
did.
but even just like sometimes it's not even like it can still be whatever actor, but if the like I think it was old housemates of mine. I walked in, they were watching like Mindhunter. Is that the one
Mhm.
like it's set in the
Yeah.
'60s and stuff?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I was watching like I didn't know. I literally just they told me the name, and I was watching it for 10 minutes. Like, huh, is this supposed to be a period piece? I was like, because the costuming was so modernized. It was like, what the fuck? Like I prefer like in Mad Men, it shows like really ugly stuff from the '60s too. It's like it shows the nice stuff, but like it's way more when you like when everything is
It's
as it
polished.
kind of
Yeah.
was. Yeah. What was the show? The Americans. I kind of thought like I liked it, and then I found out that while Russian spies probably did all of the individual things they do in that show, it was always separate people. It was never, if someone's pretending to be someone else, they're not going to be going doing hits or anything like that. Which I know it's still supposed to be a great show, but it kind of when you just change things, you're like you could have made it more interesting if it actually was as it
Yeah.
was. But yeah,
Uh,
Oh, I just looked up
has
that image.
Oppenheimer. I think.
They don't look at all like the drug
yeah
dealer.
the Griselda one? Yeah, it's a
Wow.
contrast.
Yeah,
Has
Cillian
it?
kind of has a little bit of the Oppenheimer about him.
Has
Well, he's
anyone
obviously
tried?
far more
Yeah,
beautiful.
yes, quickly. Has anyone tried the MetaQuest 3, the VR thing? Because
Oh
that's
no,
cool.
I'm staying away from that. That's
Is that the
scary
thing
material,
people are
man.
walking around now when it's all
It's
interactive?
unreal. It's genuinely just we were talking about like Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man stuff. Like it's unreal. Like you can stand and do your dishes while you. I was standing doing dishes all day, watching Peep Show on a screen the size of like a cinema screen while doing the dishes. It was incredible.
Nice.
Wow.
The most interesting part of it is the mixed reality. So in mixed reality, you can see your surroundings, you can see your room. There's gonna be cameras on it, and it's kind of weird because there's like a slight trippiness to it when you move your arms in front of your face, but you can see your arms. And then mixed reality does a thing where it integrates a game into your own surroundings. So you scan the room. The one that comes with the MetaQuest, it's called, I can't remember what it's called. It's this wee daft kind of app that comes with it. It's like a tech demo. So you scan your room, and then these aliens fly in and start bashing against your walls and your ceiling, and then your ceiling crumbles away, and you see like it was unreal. It was on. It happened. The part of my room it happened was the dog's bed. So the dog's bed sitting, and then this rubble fell out my roof and landed on the dog's bed, and like was like falling like wee bits of like dust was falling off the dog's bed on like the floor. It was unreal, and I was like, whoa. And then a spaceship flies in into your room, and then the alien comes up to your face, and then it goes over, and then it disperses these wee like blobs, like green and yellow and purple blobs with faces, and then you have to shoot them, so you get like a gun and you shoot them, right? And then the other ones start coming in from outside your walls, so like, you'll see them kind of like you'll see like your wall like getting bashed, and then a hole appear on your wall, and then these things start flooding out your room. You have to shoot them, and the more you shoot them, the more the house gets destroyed, and it's incredible. It's unreal. Um,
So does it do like bullet damage on your walls?
It does, yeah. You can shoot your walls away as well, yeah. And then you see when you shoot your walls away, you see the virtual worlds like they're coming from. So you see like a different like planet like through your what? Yeah, it's
Oh.
nuts,
That's
man.
nice. I
There's
must
a
try and
zombie
look
game
it
as
up.
well that works the same. Like a zombie will try and like smash in your
Okay.
window and stuff. I've not played that one, but yeah,
That'd be a bit scary, actually. That'd be a
some of
bit
that
too
is cool.
much.
And then you've got a Lego game, so it's like Lego Brick Tales, it's called. And you just sit at your coffee table, you scan your coffee table, and then or like any desktop, like any surface, and then all of a sudden these Lego blocks appear, and you're just playing with Lego, building worlds and cars and stuff, all within your own living room. But then when you take the headset off, you don't need to put the Lego away because it was never there. But honestly, it
It was
feels like
never there.
It
it,
was never there.
it does feel like you're playing with Lego. Like it's nuts.
That's cool.
Um,
And is it? You don't like? There's nothing on your hands. It's just
two
so you have to
controllers.
be looking at your hands for the controls. Is it?
You can
Obviously,
use
the
you can use hand
controls are kind
controls.
of.
You can use pinch controls, so you can like point at whatever like a cursor, and then when you're selected, you can do that, and it'll like
Okay.
select it. But it's a bit that the hand tracking's good, but the controllers are just quicker. So like if you just grab the two controllers, you literally just point click. Like it's a lot more straightforward. But you
Mechanically,
can
we
do
can
the
do
hand
it.
stuff. There is an option for that.
Hand stuff. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I've just seen all the videos of people just doing fucking on the
Aye,
subway. and
we on the
just doing
subway.
drugs,
Aye.
I do
Or there's a
feel
guy
like I
with
mean
a
the Apple Vision Pro is also an overpriced product. It's like $3,000 or something. It's insane. But I do feel like this mixed reality thing is a huge step forward. Like I think PSVR, that was the last one I got, and it was cool, it was fun, and it was kind of novel to do it. You did the boxing, you did Beat Saber and all that, but then this thing now where it's like mixed reality is insane. Like when you think about what you could be able to achieve with that, you could have a conversation. We could probably do this podcast where used to were sitting in this bed next to me, like, and I could just talk to you. Like,
why the bed, Dad?
just say all that shit because why not?
We're fine. We're fine.
That's a different kind of content. That's the after dark
No
content.
thought process there. Yeah.
No, but you know
we
you
can
can
sit them up.
scan you could scan in your pal and have a conversation on the moon. Like, do you know what I mean? There's no endless possibilities. Like it's that type of shit's really exciting to me more than the VR stuff. The VR stuff's cool, like playing games
How
and
do you
shooting and stuff. But
to scan your room? Do you just stand in one spot and look around, or do you
yeah,
have to
just
go,
look
like,
around. You just look around.
All right.
And
You
then
don't
if you
have
want
to
to move, if you want to move to a different room in your house, you just point. Like, say I've got a, you can open like a browser. So like if I've got Netflix open, you just point your cursor at the top and hold it, and then when you walk to the next room, the browser comes with like the screen follows you, and then you just place it right. I'm in the kitchen. I'm going to stand here to do the dishes, so you just place the screen there, put the controller down, do the dishes, and then when you're done the dishes, you just take your screen with you back in the living room or
That's
out the
mad.
toilet if you want, or and I was using it in the bath actually. I was lying in the bath one night and I was
Oh,
watching.
that would be
I
a
put my head
belter.
back and I watched a film. I can't remember. It was a superhero film. It was a Marvel film or something. I put it on. And I was just lying in the bath watching it. So, it's cool,
You'd be
man.
all wrinkly though, because you'll
How
be in
much
there
are
for
they?
hours.
Sorry.
2 hours
Hobby.
in a bath? Yeah, just to, like keep topping it up.
I
See it.
don't think I watched the full film. To be honest, I was more just doing it to test it. Like, yeah.
Oh, aye, of course.
Yeah, because my friend of mine has so I guess say what's the kind of the highest VR headset you can get for PC just before this? Because a friend of mine has the Quest Pro, or this is a newer Quest, is it?
Yeah, so there's the Quest Pro and the Quest 3. This is the Quest 3 that I've got, whereas the Quest Pro came out at the same time. I don't really know the difference. I think the
Yeah,
Quest Pro
but
is
there was a
maybe.
headset before, say like 2 years.
Yeah, so there's the Quest 2. You've just muted yourself again. There was the Quest 2.
I don't know what hand movement it is that does it. Like,
So the Quest 2
look for
did.
this hand movement stuff.
I think the Quest 2 did some pass-through stuff, like where you could see your room, but it was in black and white. It wasn't like color.
Yeah.
So the Meta
Is it
Quest
like
3 is the first color pass-through thing. Where it.
Oh, that's okay. That's the thing, because a mate of mine had one, and like you could do the big cinema screen. So I guess you could technically do it while you're washing your dishes, but you couldn't really watch your dishes. You couldn't
Right.
like,
Yeah, you couldn't see your surroundings.
you couldn't
yeah.
see what you're doing. Like, yeah. So with this, you can see clear. Do
Yeah,
know,
you
is
can
it
still see
lighter than
things.
Is it lighter than the previous headset thing?
Yeah, it feels okay on the face actually.
I
It's
just-
not. The one thing about it, I would say the strap on the back of your head feels a wee bit cheap for like a 500, 600 pound headset. It doesn't feel the most premium. Like
Feels
it's
like
kind of just
Velcro.
Velcro. Like it's just
Yeah.
kind of Velcro strap, which
Yeah.
it would be even
Like,
nicer to
it's
feel
not
something
weird.
more like this, like more robust plastic. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Other than
Yeah.
that, it's the actual headset.
5600 isn't crazy, because the last one was kind of that too, wasn't it?
And honestly, the best thing about it is just the fact that it's so portable. Like you literally just everything's in the headset. You don't need to plug it into a telly. You don't need to plug it into a PlayStation or a PC. Or you literally just put it on your face, put it on, and everything's there. Like all the apps, all the Netflix, Xbox app. You can stream Game Pass games to it. You can stream. It's just all there. You don't need to mess about with wires and shit.
Wow, really?
The only wire you have is the charging wire. You plug it into charge. The charger isn't great. It only lasts maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then it dies. Charger is quite short on it, but
Yeah.
if
Will
they
it
if they
charge
can
while
see if they can
using
improve
it?
the charging, like honestly, it's amazing how you just put it on and you go. You can take it to your pal's house and you just use it. Like there's no setting up, fanning about. Like you connect to the Wi-Fi. I guess you would need to do that, and then that'd be
Yeah.
you'd be away.
I guess I'm
So
trying to figure out. So with the see-through, like if you have it on,
Mm.
does it just look like your wall? There's no kind of. Well, you said it's a bit trippy if you're moving your hands, but
yeah,
say if you're stationary? Does it just look like the thing?
Yeah, it looks like a room. Like I could see the dogs looking at me and stuff, and they were looking at me funny because I had this big thing in my face. But like you can still make out, facial expressions, and yeah, it's. I mean, also something really interesting is also I wear glasses. You can wear it with your glasses, but it's not the most comfortable. My eyes aren't that bad that I need my glasses, so even though I tend to wear them, I can do it without. If I'm using the VR, I'll do it without. I think there's a dog
Mhm.
in my room. So if you do it without the glasses, you can buy prescription lenses that magnetize inside the headset, so that when you put it on, it's
Jesus.
set to your prescription. Yeah,
Well,
it's
the
nuts.
headset is set to your. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, also then you can't share it, I suppose, because it's your prescription that's on it. But yeah, you can do that. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Oh, I get. Oh, but it's not like they don't put glass in. That's just in the visuals, the
Oh no,
digital.
no, it's like two wee round bits of glass with like magnets on them. I think
Oh, it
I've just been on
literally
the
is.
website, and then you
Okay.
just sit them on the lenses, and then they attach, and then that's you can see clearly through the. It saves you wearing glasses, kind of thing, when
Okay.
you're playing
Yeah, yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, it's what like I started. I got a tablet. I don't know when exactly I got it, but using it now for digital drawing. I literally no idea where it is. But the difference, say, like if I'm doing a drawing, like just because of the specifics of the technology, I can do the same line a million times, like until I get it the way I feel I want it. Because my niece's birthday, they're like I don't know, a month ago. I could never draw women or girls. It's just their features are too delicate. But
Mhm.
I guess I also have to kind of learn techniques on how to do it exactly. But lads can normally take a harder line and they still kind of look
Yeah.
like a lad. But you know what? It does. It certainly does. It doesn't cross over when it's a woman. So I tried to draw my niece like twice, and both times she looked like an old man, and the paper was gone all brown. I probably have it there somewhere. But that another thing about drawing is like if you're fucking up, eventually the paper turns to shit and looks shit no matter what you do. It's shit.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
with
yeah.
this, you're literally I trying to draw one line. I just keep going back, and then coloring something like only ever really tried with coloring pencils before. I can now
Mhm.
just like paint fill, do all the different sections. Even with things about perspective, I can kind of like grab the image and tilt it, kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So, kind of saying like with the quest thing, like if you have like with the goggles or the lenses kind of thing, the mad things you can actually do with technology now that you might like it does a main purpose,
Yeah.
but it can even because it's technology you can fuck around with it and then
Yeah.
like
It's getting exciting though. Like, see if that's. I mean, I know that's a stepping stone to the quest, but like, see in the next maybe 5, 10
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
we'll be having like chips and
It's
all that
detection
shit.
proofing, man. It's unreal.
sorry having
Like,
chips.
I like chips in their head, and like you're
Oh,
already,
No,
you're
just
you're
eating
in
some fries.
college, you
like a
know.
Star Trek digital piece of chips, please.
You get some chips, please.
Yeah,
Crisps,
chill.
sorry.
You just constantly eat chips. But
That would be
digital,
great.
like
See
there's
if you were
different.
on a
Yeah,
diet or something, you're like, all right, okay, I'm just going to eat crips. I'm going to convince myself I'm eating chips.
I'm just gonna eat
That's all I would
some
do.
hollow chips. Yeah, I know. Cool, cool. Chris, anything else?
No.
Uh,
It'll come to me if it's.
Marvels. I don't think we say too much about it. I wanted
We
to
don't.
like
We
it.
shouldn't.
One of the
We shouldn't.
trailers was really good, but Christ, it was underwhelming.
The
It
bit
was
I
just
liked about it
done
is the
nothing.
cat. The cat eating things.
The
That was
cat was
nice.
eating things and
Yeah,
talking about
fine,
it.
that
fine, I
was good.
guess. But it
When
just,
the cat has already ate things, more cats.
yeah,
It's
Get
not
more
aliens,
cats.
like
I like
aliens. You
cats.
bring in more aliens, is everything, but just the cats, like whatever. Like again, watching like a weekly panel or some review about it. Someone going on about like, oh, the training montage is the best sequence in the film. I was like, I have no memory of that. Just right past me. Like I
Just went
really
over.
wanted to watch it, but then like so it's actually Tom Hiddleston's wife is the villain, and she's
yeah,
just
Yeah.
like I don't even know what like she just looks like a normal person in it. Like it's not like
Yeah.
it's very
It's not
vague
like a
power stuff.
villainish.
They bring in the Miss Marvel stuff, but it's like it's everything just seems so like cameras right here. They're talking, go, and it's like even the final fight. They keep going back to some weird. She has like a spaceship with an opening, and like that's where she just hangs out all the time.
yeah.
And there's like two fights in that room, but it doesn't even feel like the way they try and represent it. Like it's well, obviously it's a spaceship, but like the space doesn't look like even the set, they had as much space as the kind of image is trying to make you think they have. It just feels really close, and there's like no like the final fight is just all in one room, and they're just kind of spinning around each other and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
really want to watch it. I like it.
Are you disappointed in Marvel now? Like, do you think they're on a decline? Like after watching some of the
Um,
stuff.
well, say like before we took our break, I would have been like, "Oh no, it's not superhero fatigue because the films have to be good." Because some guy was saying that they're like, it's superhero fatigue when the films are good and people are losing interest. Everything is like, there's a lot of shite coming out now, like
Yeah.
really, like
Thank God a Marvel person says that, because if a DC person said that, well, I'll get shot on.
well,
Bias.
DC's always
Bias.
DC's always been shite.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
DC's been shite.
Uh,
Yeah,
no, but
constantly
like in
shite.
fairness, look, there's in all my years of Marvel, I get so fucking psyched when there's a new film coming out. A handful of the films I like would rewatch, and like this could maybe bring us to the topic coming with trailer or topic, but the actual news. But like there's a handful of films I'd rewatch. Like the majority of the MCU, I would not just let's watch this. I would
Yeah.
like very rare. Even the like I was a bit later in life to actually go back to get into rewatching films like Spider-Man 2. I have to watch Spider-Man 1 first because I can't watch the first one, but the second one first. But I could even watch them tonight at the drop of a hat, easy. But the MCU stuff, I'm like, I don't know. But like, yeah, the last one's been bad. I think we just probably go through it. The Deadpool and now Wolverine trailer.
Yes.
That's to me, this is what comic book films should be the whole time. They're fun, loads of characters. And like whatever, we haven't seen exactly who's in it yet, but taking the humor of the character, Ryan Reynolds really gets the Deadpool shit across. Like how many other characters, like Paul Rudd in Ant-Man, I love Paul Rudd, but when just the helmet comes off, well, that's another one, Ant-Man and the Wasp or Quantum Mania.
Oh,
Quantumania.
yeah, I talk about that, yeah.
Like when the helmet just comes off and he's like noticeably got like makeup on him and his hair is perfect. What like, and then he just doesn't like he's Paul Rudd. Put him into a story. Like there's something about them with the money now that they don't want to invest in the story. They're just like, let's do the lowest common denominator. Like Thor, Love and Thunder. They took elements from the comics and just dumbed them down to the bare minimum. None of the drama that's in that actual story. But like, look, Deadpool is going to be. It's all funny because in the line in the trailer, he's like, "Oh, your little cinematic universe is about to change forever." But it's like he's just quipping like every other Marvel person does. Like I'm sure if someone didn't know that Deadpool wasn't in the MCU films, would they've even gathered that from the trailer? But at the same time, looks like good crack. Has characters close to the way they are in the comics.
Do you think he'll save it? Do you think he'll?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like that's the most unreal thing about it. It's not even the fact that it does look good, but who would have thought that the MCU would need Deadpool 3 to save it?
Yeah.
Like a character from another universe needed to
stop belonging,
brought over, and everything's been pinned in this movie. Like it is kind of make or break. Like they're not going to go away, but this is really the thing that can bring them back to Endgame levels if it's good. And the fact Deadpool's the character that's doing that is kind of nuts. Like that's my whole take on it. I'm looking forward to it. I love Deadpool, I love Ryan Reynolds. I hope the MCU comes back strong, like whatever. But yeah, the fact this is what it's taken because clearly the Marvels and everything else isn't doing it. It's kind of nuts, man. Like,
well, as someone was saying, no one film is going to save it, and this won't. Like Guardians 3 was. Everyone fucking loved Guardians 3. It didn't save the MCU. Well, obviously Gunn was gone after that, but that didn't save the MCU kind of thing. Well, I can see Dan withering in pain the fact that I brought up James Gunn.
I just Guardians 3 was fine. It was fine. I don't think it was on that level though that it could save the MCU. Like it was a 7 out of 10. It was an okay film. Like it wasn't. It was pretty good.
But I don't think. Look, they say they're limited it now. Like this year, it's only Deadpool and Wolverine coming out from Marvel. They say they're going to limit it and focus back on the main kind of characters, which they've kind of just stopped doing. Like, but now look, they've Daredevil, they've Fantastic Four on the way. This is gonna look great. I don't think even the casting. If you've seen that just the other day, you probably wouldn't be too surprised because there's been a lot of rumors going around about most of them anyway.
Yeah.
But Fantastic Four for me, like the thing I'm most excited about is the idea now that we can have all the characters interacting. Now that might take the Secret Wars until you get a new Cap and a new Iron Man, but in 5 years, maybe longer or whatever, eventually we're going to have a Marvel universe that's more representative of the comics. And
Do
if
you see?
Dead,
Do you see that happening in Secret Wars? New Cap, new Iron Man. Is that what you see them doing?
they got to bring back.
Yeah.
Really?
Secret Wars in the Secret Wars that they're implying, because it shows up in the
Yep.
issue from it. It's the modern one. It didn't do that much really. It basically just brought Miles into the main Marvel universe in the comics. But you could still argue that they kind of reset the universe based on that Secret Wars. So like, that's what they're more than likely going to do, is reboot the MCU, take out anyone who doesn't really want to hang around, and recast them, and then just have a universe where everybody's there.
Yeah.
Because like they should, like they might do it in a weird ass way where it's like, oh, my universe, but that's kind of the way they do it in the comics anyway. Like they just universes blend together. But yeah, I'd say definitely.
But what is also kind of weird is how, like, I feel like the whole multiverse thing has messed up comic books in a big way. Like, obviously, especially with DC,
really
like with the fact they've rebooted it a bunch of
Fucking-
times and whatever, right? And the fact that the filmmakers in charge of the MCU have seen that and then did the same thing, like like now they're having to do the same multiverse bullshit to justify bringing characters together, and it's like, how have you made the same mistake that you made in the comics, then DC made in the comics, and now you're doing it again in the movie? Like, you had a chance to do it better and do it differently.
Marvel started off with like probably half the characters that have the rights to now, so they didn't.
But there's
DC
still
went
messiness with like how they
multiversal
brought over
after
Miles
Marvel.
Morales and stuff, and how they're bringing back Old Man Logan into like the main Marvel comics and stuff. Like there's still messy parts of it that's just like you kind of like, comic books are dumb, whatever. You write it off, but the MCU had better opportunities to introduce characters in a way that didn't have to be explained away like that, and they've still managed to write themselves into a corner where they're having to do this now, and it's like, really?
Well, I don't get what you mean. Like,
They could have had it more straightforward. They could have had the characters exist without doing all the multiverse shit and trying to justify, like, write things away because, my reality is crashing, so now I'm going to come and live in yours and all that bullshit. Like, they didn't have to do any of that, and they have done. I don't know. It just.
But I don't see how they couldn't have, because like they didn't have the rights to all their characters, so they kind of had to do something.
Just don't. Just Captain America and Iron Man are dead. Like, it's done. Like, or Sam Wilson's Captain America now. Like, just keep. I don't know. I would just have not done the multiverse, to be honest. I think only bad things have came of it. The main point I'm saying
is they started off with half the Marvel universe. Why would they continue with just the other half? Why wouldn't they start a universe where they've the full universe?
But like, they can do legacy characters.
Not bringing back
You can do legacy characters. You can do Sam Wilson and Riri Williams, and you can do that.
Bring them in after.
That's too much, man. Nah.
No, but I don't see what's the point in having all the rights if they don't mix all their characters. Like,
can I give you?
I don't know. I don't get it. I disagree, Dan.
Just because they're shite. Just because Marvel's pish and DC's not even better.
No, I'm not saying the films are amazing, but like, why? A part of the reason I don't think the films are amazing is because they don't have all the characters together.
I think it was all greed, man. Like, it is, at the end of the day, it's all greed. They had an amazing ending with the Infinity Saga. They should have took a break and not made it all and then started afresh with other things.
100%.
And then they were like, no, we need to kick all these out. And then they gave you Ant-Man, which was just a disaster.
If they'd gone away. Oh yeah, we also haven't recorded since the Jonathan Majors verdict came out.
Yeah,
that kind of knocked him for 6. But yeah, I just if they'd gone away for a few years, like Chris said, or even a year, just like a while, and then came back with No Way Home, or just I don't know, just something.
But even I think people looking back to like the Weekly Planet lads were doing the MCU Spider-Man films for Caravan of Garbage, and
they went off.
They weren't as complimentary as Spider-Man No Way Home. I like Jonathan when I watched it, I was like, "This is a fucking mess," but Toby. So yeah, and like, it's funny because James in the Weekly Planet was like, "Oh, Andrew Garfield's just running circles around people." to me, maybe it's just because Toby was my guy. I thought he was way super charming in it.
Yeah. I
Just
don't
with
think
his
it
kind
was
of
any
dorkiness,
worse.
like I didn't even with him. I don't even think
Worse.
he had to do anything. He was just kind of like when he waved that like, what's it called, Pete's or not Ned's granny.
Mm.
It's like,
Oh.
yeah. Look, the majority of them, I will always get hyped when there's a new trailer, but like the films don't very rarely kind of hold up to
The
But I
trailer.
still don't think that should give them a pass. Like there's still a level of quality that you
it should.
expect,
Yeah, there
especially
Oh
should.
at
no,
this stage in the
I'm
like.
not giving them a pass. I just that's
Yeah.
how my enjoyment of I like even now, certainly more recently, kind of just I don't know, not as I just say disappointed in celebrities. That I'm more focusing on what my relationship like I think which is probably always the way it was anyway. Like what I think it like I know the character from the comics, I know them from here and here and here. Films I don't think are always going to give like the proper enjoyment of the characters.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. I did. Look, any adaptation, they're going to do certain things. For me, I think in particular, a lot of these characters, I know them so well that I'm always going to have some issue. Like not some always going to have some issues, but for a creator to be able to go in and make something, even as a fan, like what one person would like in a film, the next fan mightn't exactly like. There's probably certain things they could do, but I think put it the Deadpool way. Be as fucking trying, even though it's kind of whatever. Look, we haven't seen any of the other people who are going to show up. Just try and make it like a characters returning. But I'd say what they're going to do is what the Fox film should have always probably been, was just fun characters interacting. It's going to be a lot more comedy. I'd say a lot of characters are going to be thrown in for jokes. But I guarantee if you were to put like all the characters that are going to show up in this in a lineup, and then like compare them to the amount of characters that would show up in a comic book. Like it's going to look kind of the same. They're probably going to look a little bit more comic booky. Deadpool 2, like they brought us a lot closer of a juggernaut to what's in the comics, and it's not super serious. Like I some comic books, yes, films like will get serious, some comics get serious, but for a comic book film, like just have lads knocking the heads off each other for like good story. Don't just like it's a serious moment. Play it fucking serious. Don't put in a quip. Like who quit? You don't need to quip all the time. Or just like.
Do you know what I think they should have done? Like, see that when you go back to like the 1960s Spider-Man cartoon, right? And it was just episodes. I've seen them recently, so I was like, oh, on Disney Plus. And they're just like wee episodes, like 20 minutes of just non-connected stories, and everybody wants everything joined up. See if they just done that kind of thing. That would be beautiful.
That's what I
I
think
would love
DC
that.
should have done for years. That's been my take on DC since Zack Snyder
Everybody
took
wants
over.
everything
Like,
connected and everybody has roots and all that shit. No, I want to just see cool shit happening. Just like what you were saying, Chad. Just do something
Well, most
episodic,
comics, like most things I remember from comics is like when the character has done something really badass and just like, okay, they might deliver a line, but it's not usually a quip. It doesn't have to be a quip. It's usually something very dramatic. Like what is this? It's not even a massive thing, but like I remember a friend of mine pointed it out, but in like House of M, the Avengers. The Avengers. I think I moved a cardboard box earlier, and it just moved it. The Avengers had like killed or were going to have to kill Wanda because she was going crazy, and Pietro came in and he was kind of like shouting at Magneto. But Magneto was kind of saying something like, when Pietro's so angry, he's doing it in super speed. So Magneto can't hear him. But on the image, like, Pietro's just a blur. And Magneto's like, I can't hear you when you speak like that or whatever. And then Quicksilver keeps pushing him. And he's like, what would you have me do? What would well, I mean, but it's so dramatic or whatever. Like, look, that's only a small thing. Like, again, that's not lads knocking the heads off each other, but you need for a film like that to have that moment.
Yeah,
it's not going to be cut off by a quip when someone's about to die. Like, you can look, people throw. I'm sure people throw quips when they're about to die, but there's a time and place for it, but not in every fucking moment. Or you know,
Yeah.
and like to me, like the biggest things I remember is Spider-Man, and I've probably mentioned a couple times on the pod, but like as a character, when he like has to, someone is just better than him or whatever, or he's fucking wrecked, and he just has to push down and jump around, be as fast as fucking he can, use all of his abilities as quickly as he can. And I think he actually did that in, even though he's fighting drones in Far From Home. To me, that was very Spider-Man-y. That was like,
He was
yeah,
outnumbered.
good job.
He tried.
But that kind of physical action, like, because they're action films, but like there never seems to be any kind of story in, an awful lot of story in their actions. It might be very detailed and stuff, and I didn't know, that's maybe a bit harsh. I think Marvel does have good action, but the story's never really there, really. Like, and like, just, I don't even think you have to go that far. You just, they kind of put their foots in their mouths and kind of make the stories a bit shittier.
Do you think, see, when you're talking about shittier, do you think John Krasinski made a, I don't know if that's how you say his name, do you think he dodged a
Krasinski.
bullet with Mr. Fantastic in the Doctor Strange universe? Now it's Pedro.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Well, the way it is now, like with who is cast now, they seem to be maybe more going for who fans want. Because, like, well,
right, okay.
but
I thought John would be good.
But
No?
he's not really, like, I don't think Pedro, like, I'd be interested to see what they do with Pedro. They're just going to make him, like, sexy Pedro. Like,
Do you think it is just because he's popular? He's like a great actor. Like, he's in everything now. Do you think that's what it is?
Look,
He's just,
as we were saying, they always put attractive people in there, but I wouldn't think, he wouldn't certainly not be my first thought as a Reed. Reed is more, Krasinski could kind of work, even though Krasinski, like, people are saying Krasinski's more of a Captain America type. Like, Reed, it has to be more
geeky.
kind of cerebral, kind of like, not to say this, but like, look at Pedro. We've seen him so far. Like, he's seen as like generally intelligent, but like, and I'm not to say anyone can't play a smart person, or like Reed is supposed to be one of the smartest people in the Marvel universe. Not to say Pedro isn't smart, but say look at Joel, more common man. But to be honest, I think he's too.
Dig yourself a hole.
No, Joel is a common man.
He was.
Yeah,
He was.
that's pretty
He was a
straightforward.
man.
He's more of a common man, but Pedro is more of like, I don't know. I guess, like, if they could just, it seems like it should be a bit more. Someone who's a little bit more boring. He just seems maybe too sexy, like, to be. I don't
Too
think
fun.
Reed should have that much sex appeal. Is what I'm saying. Reed should be a little bit more like the guy in the first films. Like,
I was
a
going to
little
say,
bit
who was the
dorky.
first guy? Because he was
Ewan
quite
Griffith.
good.
Ewan
Ewan
Griffith,
Griffith.
yeah, Welsh guy. Yeah, I just think it should be someone a little bit nerdier looking, but it's not to say they can't put Pedro in glasses and make him nerdy. But Reed is generally a boring. He's like a Ned Flanders type kind of thing.
I watch Pedro do anything. So,
Oh yeah, I love Pedro. Nothing wrong with Pedro.
Do you
whatsoever.
think that's what they've done strategically because they think Pedro's going to get people in seats and they like Pedro? We need to get him in.
Like
You
I've
don't know
said
how he's gonna
already,
play it too, like.
they absolutely were going to bring Pedro in for something. Like, he's that hot of a property right now that Marvel were going to use him at some point. So obviously this was just an appropriate time to bring him in. So if he wasn't this character, he would have been, somebody. And whether you think that logic's good enough or not, it's kind of up to you. But I do think they've casted him more so because he'll put bums in seats, as opposed to is he perfect for the character. But then again, he's Pedro and he can do anything. So sure.
I think he'd be a better Doom, to be honest with you.
I was about to say that. He's kind of got
Doom.
the charisma of that.
Doom, even though
like,
he has an incredibly scared face, somehow has mountains of sex appeal.
I want Cillian Murphy as Doom. I think that would be.
Oh,
peak.
really?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Cillian Murphy as Doom.
It also, for Doom, it's all in the fucking
in the
eyes.
eyes.
Well, he's got that from Peaky Blinders.
all the
He's
fucking
he's
eyes,
got that preparation just to dead stare.
Yeah. Oh, but his eye, he's got strong eye game. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of someone more boring for Reed. But not necessarily, like, they don't have to be. Look, we don't see how they play Reed, to the best of my knowledge, apart from like the Ultimate Universe. But he's always just like, he's either a boring teacher type or he's an evil bastard, which I think the regular universe Reed has been pretty fucking. I don't know, not a great guy at the same time. Like, he's not a great guy. Chris, if you don't know, the Ultimate Universe version of Reed is now just like a villain, like it has been for a couple of years.
Really? He's turned bad?
He's like stretched out his head so his brain is bigger, which sounds very stupid. But he's called the creator, the something. I don't know what he's called. He's got a name from stuff now. And then so who's the guy from Stranger Things? I think he was possibly rumored for a while.
Yep.
Which fair enough, but like again, it seems kind of strange that it's like these castings now seem a little bit more fan, like
Yeah.
what the fans would have thought. Apart from
Popularity.
Pedro seems a bit of a curveball, for now, just because it wouldn't be what I expected. But like the guy from the Bear, and he's in.
Eben Moss Backrack. Ebon Moss Backrack.
Yeah, he's
His
like
name.
the cousin in the Bear. I haven't seen the
Yeah,
Bear
yeah.
yet, but he's
Oh
in.
god, yeah. No, watch the Bear. The Bear's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
I
something
know. I
I've
keep
watched between now and that show when we last recorded. Yeah, the Bear's unreal.
Yeah, and it's short. Yeah, I've been meaning
Is it
to kind
just
of
a
plow through
Gordon
it.
Ramsay drama?
No,
Is it Kitchen Nightmares but
no,
with
it's
actors?
there's a lot more to it.
No,
It's
Alright, okay.
it's a family drama,
bland.
but it's also to do with the human condition of pushing yourself to your limit and
To the
trying to
limit.
what will you do to achieve what you want to do, and what will you compromise, and what trauma does that bring you, and how do you deal with that trauma? And yeah, there's layers to it, man. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to put
Okay.
that on my
Cool.
list
A
then.
lot of big actors just kind of show up every.
Yep.
Or how many of the kind of big casting guest stars? How many of them are recurring characters? Or is it a lot of
Two.
like, oh, this week we got fucking this one. This week we got
So
someone else.
the first season, the whole show is based around he's lost his brother. His brother died. He owned a sandwich shop, and the the younger brother was working at a kind of Michelin star type place, a really high end, fancy ass New York restaurant. And he's had to come back to, I'm pretty sure Chicago. He's had to come back and take over his brother's sandwich shop because his brother's died, and
Oh, okay.
there's a
I
staff
thought it
body
was
and
set in
shit.
New York.
But his brother kind of died under mysterious circumstances. First, it's kind of a lot of people presume.
Oh no.
I don't want to give anything away, but there's a lot to it.
You don't care about spoilers, I do.
And then who the brother is, you see flashbacks and stuff. Who the brother is a well-known actor. So that's the kind of first inkling of that, and then
Yeah.
the second series you find out he's got other family members who are all known actors, and a few of them recur
Yeah.
more than once. So yeah,
Okay, yeah, because I saw like I was vaguely aware of it, and then every once in a while I was like, "How many fucking people are in this show?" Because like it just seems to be every couple of weeks there was someone else.
there's a certain episode that's all set in a flashback during Thanksgiving dinner from like 2 or 3 years prior to the beginning of the show, and that's the episode because it's a family dinner. Everybody's there, so that's your kind of cameos episode, if you like.
Mm.
But yeah, but it's great. I mean,
Family from the
everybody's great in
Bear.
it. They all feel
Oh,
like genuine
Fantastic Four,
characters
yeah.
with genuine relationships. It's not just like, oh look, we got this person. There is
This
actually
famous person.
there is actual relationships
Yeah,
built,
no,
and
touch to it.
and they feel in depth, and yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. But I actually know him from Girls. Did you ever see that?
I've never watched it, but yeah,
I've watched it.
He's
take
one
a
of the like main characters. Well, look, the characters. I know maybe wasn't fair from the characters weren't likable, but I think that's an amazing show. Just some of the stuff they did in it. But one of the main actresses who's like the man's girlfriend in Get Out.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
Yep.
brown hair.
Alison Williams, Alison something, yeah.
Oh yeah, could be. Yeah. Possibly she's the daughter of a famous person,
Right.
but maybe not a famous actor person. But I think, yeah, she starts going out with that guy in the like later seasons, and he's like this. I guess what I'd imagine someone from Edward and the Magnetic, Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros. You know that song, "Home, Let Me Go Home." Okay, no. Well, cut that out then. But like he's like this singer songwriter type, but he's a fucking lunatic. Like there's just certain episodes where he's like breaks down crying. Like he's a complete, like he's this cool bravado, but like he's a complete wimp, and he breaks down crying to her a load of times and stuff. And then, yeah, it was just that was the first thing I saw him in. I thought he was amazing, and he's just kind of it's something about him. Like he was in the Star Wars. What was it called? Andor. And he just has a really watchable vibe. The other fella, then the main guy in there, I don't know, but
Jamie Allen White. He was in Shameless. He was in American Shameless.
is he like American Lip or something?
Yes, he's lit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A mate of mine kept up the American one, said it was amazing.
I mean, I've not seen the American Shameless, but he's incredible in the Bear. Like unreal.
Yeah.
An incredible lead performance.
And who else? And then the other girl, like the woman, the Invisible Woman.
Vanessa
What's her
Kirby.
name?
Vanessa
Yeah, I
Kirby.
don't know as well. She's been in Mission Impossible.
She was in
Yeah.
Thingamajig. What's his name? And Napoleon. She was the queen.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay.
Very good.
I've not seen that.
Yeah,
I mean,
good that it's
okay.
she's Kirby and Fantastic Four created by Jack Kirby. So
I personally would have liked to see
Nice little
Jodie
touch.
Comer, but I'm happy with Vanessa Kirby.
Who's Jodie Comer? Let's see. Where's she
Jodie
in?
Comer's in Killing Eve,
She's
and
in-
she's in Free Guy with Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's in.
Is that all? I feel like she's been in. I haven't seen her in really anything.
She's in Help with Stephen Graham, which is a really good British drama about COVID, and she's in a new one where she's pregnant during an apocalypse. I think she gets pregnant, and then there's like the world goes to shit, and it's an environmental apocalypse, so like there's floods and tsunamis and shit, and she's trying to survive with her
So
kid.
it's no fake. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about, but I don't know what it's called.
it's
even,
Jack.
but, yeah.
It's Jack Schaefer. That's the WandaVision guy, I think.
Okay.
And it
I
seems
thought
to
the
be
One
set
Division
in the
guy
60s.
was the One Division guy not the guy that did Always Sunny? What's his name? Matt something.
I think there could be two people.
WandaVision?
Yeah, probably.
Let's look this up.
But like one of them is holding, or the thing, or someone is holding like a 1960s. So they seem that's what they're going for. That they're just Fantastic Four from the 60s, and
Yep.
then they get lost in time. Which is kind of weird because I guess I could see them dropping the over from the 60s thing very quickly, and like
Yeah.
the film they're going to just talk like everyone else. But yeah, be interesting to see. Yeah, but see that's to me just I would like to see like Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, like just
All the good
someone
ones.
from every gang in one group, and just be like, hey, what's crack? They don't have to do anything; just play poker or something like. But I just like the idea of them all existing and not just in a vacuum.
See, that's what you could do. You could do like episodes, and then Wolverine's in one, like a Spider-Man story. But Wolverine comes into town, and he's like, "Hey, bub," and then he goes into like,
just
Storm
go
or
and
something.
have a buddy movie, like they say like this kind of Deadpool thing, but like Deadpool this is obviously some kind of end of the world multiverse thing. But they should just be able to have them go up against some criminals.
I think
like this.
they made a mistake with the TV series. Like they could have really nailed it with him, but they fucked them.
They could have done Loki season 2. I liked it.
But I think
Never
I think everybody's used to the whole continuation of the stories. See if you need to get rid of that and just make cracking
I don't
good
know.
stories.
I think ideally, like the way that if comic book stuff were adapted right, it would be TV shows.
Yeah, because of long form storytelling, sure.
Well, look, you gotta have films too, but like I say, just you don't have to like do a Daredevil season, then Daredevil's in this film, and then like a lot of the films seem to be mostly kind of team ups now. A lot of the time, there's not many just literally one dude or dudette or in between. But like, yeah, like again, She-Hulk. To me, that's still one of the closest things to an actual comic book because it's just pacing, everything about it. I think to me is more comic booky where you're just putting say compare that to the Marvels where it's just like you get three characters together and they just fight someone who's kind of bland. That's not really. It seems to be more like How many MCU films do you go across some digital cityscape? Oh, we're going to this planet now, and it's just like, or it's the fucking quantum verse where everything just looks like nothing. And there's no real design to it. The color, like they always said about Marvel films being blank in color. They've maybe improved on that a bit, but like there's a lot of vagueness. And actually, just to go back to the Weekly Planet thing, apparently Tobey Maguire had specifically requested that his input to the character, that his Peter had the most blank, didn't want to say anything about what happened to him before.
Yeah, right.
So he specifically asked that. So I think we, like with Secret Wars 2, it could be all those guys coming back together.
Good. I mean, you're still dragging the bottom of the barrel, getting the old guys to save the universe.
Yep.
There's no new stuff,
Nah, nothing's new. Everything's been done before.
Yeah.
Nothing's original.
Well, look, I think we never, like, to this point, we never had comic book films to this level. So maybe that's just it now. Maybe this is just
Maybe
this
it
is
is.
what they are, because, like, in the
We've
comics,
been
they
spoiled.
always. But I don't even know about spoiled. But like in the comics, like they always had this thing of these jokes about if there was ever like a Spider-Man being filmed within the story, it was always some like super baked up dumbass playing the character or whatever.
Yeah.
And like they'd always just completely the idea of a film version of these super like within the comic story, the idea that these people go on these suits and these CGI and all this, it's all made to look really ridiculous. And now kind of at this point the films are like that. Not all of them. And
You two get injured.
That's a fantastic.
hey,
It is annoying, but
There's
it's
definitely a way to
amazing.
disable that. There's definitely a way to disable that.
there's gotta be. There's gotta be. Yeah. But look, maybe this is it. Maybe just the films are just okay, it's kinda close. Give me a good game every once in a while, a good comic, I'll source it together, I'll just take little bits out of everything and have fun with that.
But that's maybe it's just me and my OCD, but that's what's kind of bothered me about the MCU is that I used to be like a completionist. I'd want to consume everything. I'd want to see the whole story and all the characters and all the spin-offs, and then it just became too much to keep up with, and it felt like homework. Like Miss Marvel
Yeah,
was the
you
point
have to.
that I
Yeah.
fell off. Like halfway through Miss Marvel,
Yeah,
I just
I never
didn't
watched
care,
Miss
and I was
Marvel.
I was watching it out of obligation. I was watching it out of duty, and then I was like, why am I giving my time every week? And then that's who I've not bothered with She-Hulk or Loki or Echo, because I'm just like, I don't care, and
Yeah.
you know, I've got time I could be spent doing other things that I actually want to watch or play or whatever. I'm
Yeah,
sitting,
yeah.
and it was the same thing happened with Star Wars after a while. Like I watched Obi-Wan, that was
Yeah.
great, and then to be honest with you, the point I fell off was Andor, and that's not. I've heard Andor's great, and I
What?
really want to go back
You've
and watch
not?
it.
Oh, you
I
need to
watched the
I was
watch
first
like,
Andor.
episode. I watched the first
Andor's
episode.
great.
Obi-Wan was pretty shit, man. Like,
Yeah, Obi-Wan was
I'm
shit.
not. I'm not saying that. I'm sure
Yeah.
Andor's great, and I really want to go back, as I said, and see it. It's just that wasn't because of that show. It was just I felt at that point like it was too
You
much,
fell off it.
and I didn't have the
Yeah.
time, and I fell away from it. And then Ashoka came out, and I heard that was kind of shit, and then that's when I was like, right, okay, I don't think I'm going to bother.
Andor, just watch Andor. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah. Star Wars does nothing for me normally, but that's fantastic.
Yeah. No, I will. I hope it's good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Like, I said I'd go back and watch Daredevil because Echo came out because like I never finished the second. I don't think I finished the second season, and I'd heard most people say Daredevil's solid, third season's the best, and I got about 5 episodes in. I'm like, oh, it's like, but like totally like it's so rare that I would actually consider a comic book thing. Well, some, but it's rare. Like it's definitely the minority that I consider them as good as something that is not comic book related. Like Logan, I don't think has maybe a little, but I don't think Logan has as many kind of need for my fandom to enjoy it. I think Logan is probably one of the closer films that, even like I'd say it separately from like The Dark Knight, because The Dark Knight you do have to get into that spectacle a bit. Logan is just a little bit. It's like okay, it's like a sci-fi film kind of essentially. Like they literally could have just made this without like if Wolverine the character never existed, just made this like it's a kind of cool sci-fi film. Very few of the Marvel, like any Marvel TV show, like okay, I'm watching it as a TV show, but it's like they're banking on an awful lot of the fact that I've read these fucking characters.
Is he coming back? Do you think? Do you think Hugh Jackman's coming back to be? Because I remember after Logan, he said that's it.
No. He'll do. Everyone will do Secret Wars. Secret Wars will just be like a big party, and then they're going to try and start it again from scratch. I'd say. Well, I don't know. They might keep some actors, but Secret Wars.
They get those contracts.
Yeah. But I'd say like what it could possibly be, even though it mightn't be an exact prequel to it. Deadpool, very likely Deadpool could be setting up Secret Wars. Because I think as they're kind of saying, Deadpool has to save the multiverse and he doesn't, he fucks it up, and that's what happens. So like that's more than likely what Deadpool's gonna do. He's just gonna like fuck everything up and then it's Secret Wars. To do it kind of funny, and then the MCU version of it will be more serious, or they can build it up or whatever. Or the main films. Is that everything?
Yeah. I think so.
X-Men animated trailer.
Ah,
Dan, you
good.
haven't seen it.
Oh, the
No.
what did anything stand out to you, Jed, when you watched it?
My boner. No. The
Wolverine's
animation, the
Wolverine's
voice.
voice was
Yeah,
like, I was like, no.
see. People were saying that like the actor is like, I don't know, fucking 40 years older. But I saw someone in comments saying it's like, yeah, well, like I got a cameo off him like 5 years ago, and he sounded the exact same as the cartoon. But like he is older, so.
Oh, is it the same
Um,
guy? Is it the same voice actor?
Oh yeah, Rogue is the
Oh,
same. Jubilee, the original Jubilee actor who wasn't Asian, isn't Jubilee anymore. They got an Asian actress,
right.
but the original Jubilee has been recast as someone.
So she's
The
in it,
or-
at
the
least.
original Scott died like two
Oh.
years ago. Sinister, I think he's coming back as the same voice actor. Magneto might be recast. Storm is the same. Rogue is the same. Wolverine's the same. And I think maybe Nightcrawler, even though Nightcrawler was only like an episode of the original.
It's only a couple.
Yeah, look, the animation kind of looks weird because I think they're kind of trying to make it look like the hand drawn stuff from
Yeah.
the original. Like I tried to rewatch that's another thing where you kind of just pick your moments. Tried to rewatch the cartoon like in the last year. I didn't like I got X amount of the way into it. But there's an awful lot of, like cheesy jokes. It is a kids' cartoon. Like at the end of the day, it feels like reading comics from like the 70s. The level of kind of maturity of it, it feels like it's a kid. Like, but say like the X-Men, I mentioned the word the X-Men Legends games. It's kind of a little bit above that because it's more modern, but that kind of level of enjoyment. And when I'm watching those in particular, because like Wolverine just sucks the crack out of everything because he just keeps popping his claws and rolling around on the ground with someone. But every once in a while, when he pops his claws, it looks fucking badass. Or no, sorry, that's the old one. So I still probably might. Well, it's out next month, so I don't think
Yeah,
I'll
it's out
rewatch.
in
I don't think I'll
March. Yeah.
finish rewatching the original before I get to it. But yeah, look, very interesting.
Looks good.
It's insane we have it. Like it's not something you'd ever. It's one of those things you just.
Yeah,
Even
I
now,
never
with all the
thought
stuff
I
we
would
have,
need
you
it.
still wouldn't think you'd get this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't need it, but like, it's nice. You know?
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's nice.
The So and even like the original writing team, there's a new head writer and the original director, but I think obviously they have different people directing different issues. But like yeah, a lot of the original team are there, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, like I don't know, I enjoy it. It's cool that they're doing it. Maybe a 90s Spider-Man cartoon revival after if it goes well.
Oh, I would want that. I would want
So
that
I'd say
more.
I don't. I think no matter what, this will go well. Like they'd have to really fuck it up. But yeah, I think that's.
I think that's it. That's like about a 5-hour podcast or something.
Cracked it, lads.
Well, next week we'll be back, and I'll be talking about a game that I'm going to play this afternoon that my curiosity has never been more morbid for.
Oh, do can you
Your
share?
which?
So yeah. So yesterday, I believe Friday, right? Yeah. No, Friday. So 2 days ago, I received an email with a code for a game called Epstein Island, and
What?
yep, and
It
it's a real
appears.
game. I mean, I didn't think it was a real game. Like, I saw some stuff about it, and I was like, "Oh, this is a meme," because if you go into Steam, it's there. You can find it on Steam, and the artwork is very AI generated. So I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
this is bullshit. This isn't real. This is a meme." And then yeah, no, they have a Steam page, and they were like, "Yeah, we're updating our game, and we'd like you to check it out." And I'm like, "Well,
No.
why not?" So yeah, I'm going to play a game called Epstein Island. That's what I'm doing in my afternoon. I've got the synopsis up here if you want to hear it. Sort of
On you
finish
go.
on this.
That'll be a
Go,
finishing off. Yeah, there you go.
So, welcome to the mysterious and dangerous dangerous Epstein Island hero. It begins with the dark ambitions of Jeffrey, the owner of the island. Jeffrey, who bought the island with the help of his rich supporters, is trying to solve the secret of immortality by using people's blood in the dark laboratories of the island. Morbids were created who feed on human blood and survival drugs and turned into skeletons over time. Jeffrey's goal is to make these rich morbid friends immortal. Discover Epstein Island, where there are 3 bosses aiding Jeffrey. Once you find them, you learn their names. I'm pretty sure it's Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew. I'm not-
It's
Uh,
Bill and it'll be Bill and
and
Andrew.
Stephen Hawking will be DLC.
Yeah.
You'll obtain passwords which will allow you to enter the protected door where Jeffrey is. Be cautious as you'll encounter various surprises on the island. Your mission is to survive on this island and stop Jeffrey and his terrifying morbid army. However, this is not an easy task. That's the synopsis.
What's the name of the game?
Epstein Island, I believe it's called.
How could they? I don't even know how they got that name.
I know,
like.
it's unreal.
Yeah. Well, I
the
guess
fact
how many
that
people are
Steam-
making that game? Like, so
They're a
that's probably
Turkish
safe
studio,
enough.
apparently. I don't know if they've developed it before. What I'm fully expecting a lazy game, survival game with like Unreal Engine assets just pasted in and then the Jeffrey Epstein name slapped on it for clicks. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to
Yeah.
be. But who knows? Maybe it's
Well, you need to
great.
give it a go.
Maybe
You
it's
need to give it a
great.
go.
So
The-
I'll report back.
Yeah, I did see something about like recently on YouTube, like collections on just really piss poor games that you can buy, like really just cheap ones that are incredibly poorly made. 1 second now.
I mean, listen, it can't be worse than Skull and Bones. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably had maybe 10 minutes of development, and it's
yeah,
probably got
can't be
reviews.
can't be worse than Skull and Bones, I guess. Yeah. So
Instead of 10 years. Oh well.
Epstein Island.
There we go.
There we go.
There's a Northern Irish publisher which I'm following on Instagram, and I don't know what their fucking name is, but they're making Gaelic football game. There was one in like the noughties, which I never played. But yeah, they're making, like, it looks low enough budget, but I think that they're hoping that it'll be on PlayStation and Steam, Steam at least anyway.
Cool.
I think. Oh yeah, and just if anyone, because I'm now, as I was saying, I'm Peter Parker broke, so I had to cancel my PlayStation Plus.
Oh.
But my friend's game Rollerdrome, I think,
Yep.
is still the free game this month.
It is.
for, PlayStation Plus.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
A wee bit
yeah.
of promo.
It's great.
yeah.
Rollerdrome's great.
I tried to pick it up again recently. It's impossibly hard. I will have to finish it because, again, it's very rare that your friend makes a game.
It's a lot of fun,
yeah.
man.
I'm still delighted for him. It's still very surreal. In BAFTA winning motherfucker. Yeah. Other than that, so like I don't know what films are out. Like, what's going on?
No.
We'll be recording
We've
again
covered it.
sometime soon.
Yeah, we'll do something.
We'll
We're
watch
back,
something.
season 2, boys.
I'll play more of X-Men Legends. Maybe watch some of the beer.
I
there's no
might
like.
watch the bear. I might.
Maybe
Watch the
season
bear.
2 we kind of we're not going for like well, we kind of have to because we started off that way, but we don't. But
This is just
focus
chilled.
on our
Three
more
guys
just like
talk.
films as opposed to film as or film,
Cinema.
film. Yeah, as opposed to Marvel shit all the time.
Stuff.
I
There isn't
don't
that
know,
many
I
Marvel
was-
shit coming out this year anyway, so we don't have that much to watch. Sci-fi. We'd be sci-fi guys.
I don't know where this is going to be published, if I'm being honest, if this is going to go to YouTube or not. But if there's a comment section below, wherever you're watching this, leave a comment. Let us
I'll
know
be on YouTube.
what you want to
Yeah.
see. Yeah, and subscribe, and
If
we'll
you don't
see
want
you
me to
next
talk
week.
about my sweat glands,
Yeah,
put
why not,
comments.
man?
Yeah.
There's always a topic
We
with
don't
sweat glands.
like.
I've got a lot of material
I'm
on that.
taking,
that's
since
all.
I'm going to attempt to take over the editing reins, it's just going to be like chop. Gone.
Beep.
I'm going to put some like other clip in.
That'll be
and
in
then
the
I don't want to
shorts.
cut the episodes that I said.
If you want to see us talk
Um,
about anything, give us suggestions. That would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Interaction. Check out my fandom wire shit. That's still going. That's still happening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week to
See you
slag
soon.
off some more live service games and shit superhero films. I
On
guess.
Yeah. we get stuff. Daddy's got a brand new SmackDown.
That too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've not had that need.
Almost forgot.